Looks like I'm live, folks. You know, I'm at home, I'm off work, so I decided to do another live stream just because they're so much fun. And because I got a stuffy nose and a bit of a head cold. So it's not a good practice to go into work if you're feeling kind of under the weather. You know what I mean? Not good to spread stuff like that around. So hope everybody's doing well out there. It's an absolutely beautiful December day here on the Gulf Islands. Blue sky, sunshine, and but cool out there. It's only around 5 degrees here this morning, 5 degrees Celsius. So it's about 40. It's around 40 degrees out there. So low temperature was in the high 30s. Yeah, it's a cool one, but that's okay. We haven't had any frost yet. There's no snow up here, and lots of hummingbirds buzzing around out there. All the fatsia trees are in bloom. There's eucalyptus in bloom, and there's other flowers in the garden blooming, and the fuchsias and stuff. So hummingbirds absolutely love them. There's what you're hearing in the background there is the radio. My transmitter. I was just working a station in Ontario. There's a lot of Southern DX rolling in right now. Turn that down a bit. It's looking like this. There. It is. Hope you guys are having good weather wherever you guys are. It's the weather's supposed to stick around here for a while, so they say. And I know there's a few places in the south and in the east that have got some snow and some frost, and hopefully that's short-lived. And maybe that'll be your winter. I'm hoping we don't get a winter this year. That would be really nice. I can live without it. I'm not a winter person, but I do appreciate the winter rain. Turn this around. I like talking on the radio, as you know from my videos. So it's a good day for it. When you're home, kind of feeling under the weather, it's always nice to talk around the world, and then you can find out what's going on in other parts, weather, what they're growing, whatever. So anyway, folks, if you're in there, jump in. I see there's 3 people watching, and don't be shy. Leave your comments here, and if you want to talk palms, we'll talk palms. I'm drinking green tea, ginger green tea. It's actually not green tea, nettle tea. It's really, really good stuff. So I did a video down in the greenhouse today, and I'll upload it later. Maybe I'll upload it tomorrow. I've already uploaded a few videos today. Of somebody asked me if palm seeds germinate in the greenhouse in the winter months, and absolutely they will germinate if the if the temperatures are high enough in the greenhouse, because when the sun hits that glass, even on a cool winter day, it warms up in there. So yes, Trachycarpus palm seeds will germinate in that unheated greenhouse. I'll tell you something really interesting. I can scatter tons of palm seed around at the beginning of summer, and they will sit there all summer long because it's so dry. And now you'll go out there in the garden and you'll see them popping up everywhere. There's palm seedlings everywhere. So I just scattered a bunch more just a couple of days ago, and that's going to pop up a little bit later. Some of that stuff will be popping up in spring. So yeah, they and then when it gets really cold, they just slow right down, right? Like the big palms will grow here year round, and then when you hit a certain temperature, when it's too cold, they're just going to sit there. So I guess that's they kind of go dormant for a while, and then when it's above a certain temperature, then they start to grow. You see that DX coming in. Anyway, I was out there today admiring some of the eucalyptus trees. We have a couple of eucalyptus trees in bloom out there right now, and it's funny. The bees love them in the summer months, in the spring months, and at this time of the year, the hummingbirds will actually buzz around those flowers, and they're getting something from them. But what temperature does trachys grow the fastest when they become? When do they become really slow? I would say temperatures below 40 degrees Fahrenheit. They're going to slow right down or stop, and probably stop. And you hear that? Virginia's coming in. And then you get above, in the 40s, they're going to start growing, but not as fast in the mid 40s. But you get up to temperatures above 60 degrees Fahrenheit, and they're going to start growing really fast. So above 60 degrees Fahrenheit, they're pretty happy campers. So we're not going to be seeing those temperatures for a while. So at this time of year, they grow slowly through the winter time, and then they speed back up in the spring. Lots of DX rolling in here on the radio station, folks. Yeah, so Trachycarpus like cool wet.
I didn't catch your number first time. I got them at time real good there.
They like cooler weather better, Trachycarpus palms, and it's the sable palms that love the heat. Sable, palmetto, minor, and all those sables just absolutely love heat to grow, is where Trachycarpus palms can grow in lower heat units. And Trachycarpus, of course, are one of the most cold hardy arborescent palms. And when I say arborescent, I mean a trunk forming palm. Sable palmetto are hardy too, but Trachycarpus fortunei are more cold hardy. So for those of you that don't know much about palm trees and the cold hardiness, if you're living in a cold area, stick with sable minor, needle palm. And if you want to grow an arborescent palm, a trunk forming palm, Trachycarpus fortunei, but it is going to have to be wrapped in lower growing zones. This far north, like I say, they are rated Zone 8B long-term, and there are some nice ones in Zone 8A as well here on the coast. They can grow pretty chilly temps, and yes, they can. You think if I have 20 seeds, 5 nights to... Yep. Oh, yeah. They'll grow, for sure. They'll definitely grow at those temperatures. See, I guess you're in the deep south, right? Palms? I lose track of where everybody is. I mean, there's people in Mexico and here and in the south. So 20 degrees Celsius is perfect temperature for trachy growth. You're going to get good growth out of a Trachycarpus palm at 20 degrees Celsius. That's around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. That is pretty warm. You know, we never see that in the wintertime here. It's never going to be to 20 degrees Celsius. Not in my lifetime anyway. I doubt it. Unless global warming really kicks in. So how's your weather there, Palms? What's it like right now? I'm sure it's a lot warmer than where it is here. You got to remember what our latitude is 48 degrees north latitude. So it's we're quite up there in the latitude. So it does not get that warm at this time of the year. But you can still go out there and garden and do things and not freeze to death. It's cool, but not frigid. Although it would be frigid if you came from Hawaii and you landed here. That's right, Highlands. That's right. You're North Mexico, and you can grow a lot of stuff up there. And I think your summers are opposite ours. Our summers are dry, and your summers might be wet. Correct me if I'm wrong. And your winters are dry. Typical winter weather for this area. That's nice. You're lucky. That's perfect weather, man. 20 degrees Celsius on a winter day. I should be on Maui right now, like I said before, and I'm sure Maui right now is probably about 28 degrees Celsius in Kihei, where we stay. It would be really good to be there. I've been looking at pictures of Maui and stuff like that, and I'm really missing it this year. It's just it's a bummer that we're not there. See if I can get back to one of these guys for you. I'll show you how this works, this radio system. I've been talking on these since 1977. Click on that. Click on this.
We're trying to copy your mail.
357, who's your state? 357, who's your state? 9 Alpha Uniform 791 Southern Gulf Islands QSX.
When you said Mr. 719, when you said Mr. 719, 357, Evansville, Indiana, saying good evening.
Yeah, 357 was it? This is 791 Southern Gulf Islands off the west coast of Canada. Copy.
Hey, right back here, 791. I got it that time. Mr. 794. 357 down here in Evansville, Indiana, saying happy holidays.
Hey, Roger on that. I hope you have a Merry Christmas down that way. How's the weather in Indiana right now? Currently here about 40 degrees, clear sky, sunshine, and not even a breeze out there. It's pretty calm.
Hey, right back. Hey, about 35 to 40 degrees.
Weather report.
We got down to like 20 degrees last night. Kind of chilly, 20 degrees last night. Come on.
Yeah, 20 degrees. Yeah, that's down there for sure. You definitely have to wear your wool socks. Your station's sounding pretty good up this way. What are you running there? I'm running an IMAX 2000, RCI 2980 DX, WX, D104, and pushing out about 400 whiskeys out of a Texas Star High Drive, Roger.
Hey, right, a Mako 5 element with a Connex Saturn base with AM 1500 amplifier.
Oh, you're blowing smoke in here, man. You sound like a local.
Hey, I appreciate that. I got you about sound like you're sitting in my driveway.
That's what we like to hear, man. Pushing the power. Thanks, man. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you get out of there, buddy. And you have a great day, DXing, and good to hook up with you. And like I say, all the best of the season. And stay safe out there. This is 9 Alpha Uniform 791, Southern Gulf Islands, QSX.
Hey, right back to you there, 791. Right back to you from my house on yours. Happy holidays, be safe. 357, Indiana, we're saying bye.
Cheers to you, 791 QSX. That's how it works, folks. And then what happens, you always get a lot of people coming back to you, too. Paranormal stuff on the radio? No paranormal stuff. I can tell you one thing. I've talked to every 50 state, I'm going to say hundreds of times, and I've talked the world. I've talked to probably about 30 different countries. Since 1977, I've been talking on these guys. This is a newer radio I got about 6 years ago, and I actually still have my very first radio. Let me turn this down. I got my very first radio I got back in 1977, still down here, and it works. But I think the craziest place I've ever talked to is Russia. I've talked to Russia twice, and you don't often hear Russia coming in, but I have talked to Russia 2 times over the years, and some pretty wild places in the world, that's for sure. But nothing paranormal-ish. I like paranormal stuff, and I think I need one of those ghost meters. There's a guy here on YouTube. There's a bunch of them. They get these meters that can detect presence in the room, and I'd like to walk through a graveyard and actually shoot a video with one of those. And I've got videos in the graveyards at night with Wendy, but I didn't see anything paranormal. I was hoping to see something paranormal, but definitely nothing here on these HF radios. But it is fun to talk on, and I've actually traded a lot of palm seed through radio, talking to people that have actually grown other people that grow palm trees have these radios, and I've traded a lot of seed that way, even over the radios. Long before the internet was around, I was talking on these things and trading palm trees seed around the world. They usually agree with pretty quiet paranormal. Yeah, you know what, Tropical PDX, I've been to them a few times at night, and I have videos here. They might be on my other YouTube channel, and it was dead. I brought in there with a flashlight. I think it might have been Halloween night or around Halloween. I was hoping to see something or hear something, but nothing. Sounds great being. Yeah, palms. I would love to be in Hawaii right now, and I am missing it big time. But you know what? I can get a little closer to Hawaii with that. I do talk to Hawaii a lot on that thing, and Maui too. I've worked pretty much all the islands on that, except I don't think I've talked. Well, maybe I've talked to Lanai. I've never talked to Niihau. I don't think anybody has a radio on Niihau. So, but I'll have to try the graveyard again with Wendy one night and see if we can pick something up. But I was looking at these meters, and these Ghostbuster guys use these meters, and it detects presence, right? You've probably seen them in their videos. Whoa, I had a drink thrown at me oh, that's crazy. No way. That is super cool. I would love to see that. You believe basically whatever you focus, track your life. Yeah, maybe that's true. I've heard of that, Palms. Well, I'm going to tell you something, PDX. It was a while back, a couple weeks ago. My son and his girlfriend were down, and she says, "You got to see this video. This is my friend sitting on his couch," and then he's sitting there and he's like freaking out. He's got his iPhone and he videotapes the cupboard opening and the cupboard closing. Then the cupboard and slam, slam, slam. Nobody around. Isn't that freaky? Palms USA, how's it going? Spilled in my lap. That's pretty crazy. See, I would love to have that on video, Tropical PDX. Anything like that. So I told that girl, my son's girlfriend, to send that video to us because Wendy could use it and edit it into a YouTube video because he just shot it on his cell phone. And it was like the craziest thing I've ever seen. This guy was freaking out too. Good that you're doing well. That's awesome. Nice to see you guys in there. I got to write this guy's numbers down. See, when I talk to people on the radio, I put them in a logbook, and in case we hear him again, and then we can talk to him. I think his number was 7. What was his number? 737. Hey, Indiana, was your number 737 or 717? I don't even know if he's in there anymore. Bummer. I'll have to listen for him. There's the logbook. I filled up about 5 of these things over the years, right? So everywhere I talk, I log it, and the location, the name, the call number, all that stuff. No, I've never ever contacted aliens on here, folks. So nothing really paranormal on my radios here. You can always watch this video again. Yeah, I will. And I just thought about that tropical PDX. I may have to watch it again. Let's just see. My Tristan at ECM. My dad works in the ECR. He said boxes move around. And wow, that is cool. See, Christian, you got to get something like that on video. That's like that. That's a video that probably goes viral. I'm from Indiana. I talk to Indiana a lot, ECN. I talked there yesterday too. So I'm. How about a 250-440 British Columbia, Canada? That guy's just on the big island next to us. I talk to him a lot. Yeah, I talked to the Hoosier State a lot. I've talked there probably about 4 or 5 times this week already. How about a 250-440 British Columbia, Canada? Christian, you got to get your dad to get a video of something like that. That is super cool. So it's haunted in there, man. It's got to be, right? I used to go into the haunted butter church. They call it, there's the 10 most haunted places on Vancouver Island. It's called the Haunted Butter Church, and I have videos of it on my other YouTube channel, and it is freaky in there, man. There's a story behind that church. The congregation, they call it the church without a congregation. So it actually went from 1870 to 1880. Then the church closed down, but everybody that built that church that worked on it mysteriously died. Okay. And they called it the Butter Church because the Reverend had a dairy farm that made butter, and he funded it to build the church with the funds from his butter farm. So they called it the Butter Church. Yeah, ask him to record. That would be super cool, man. I love videos like that. Often I watch videos like ghost trackers and stuff like that. So, but me, I've never seen ever. Tropical. I've also had cats. Tropical PDX. I've also had a cat's toy mice move. Wow, no way. That's crazy, man. Ground shepherds, I mean. Wow. I've seen Buckeye State coming in. I've seen UFOs twice, and I remember exactly when I saw them, and I was with people, okay? So it would have been January 1978, and we're out feeding the animals in the barn. This is when I lived on the mainland south of Vancouver. We had a hobby farm. Dad and sister in the barn. I decided to step out and look up at the stars because January nights, the stars are so brilliant. And I'm looking up there, and I like to watch for satellites. I used to always try to spot satellites. So I see something going across the sky, and then it stopped. And I said, get out here. I called Dad and sister out there right behind the door. We had big sliding doors. They came out, we looked up, we watched it. So we watched this thing. It stopped, and satellites don't stop. Then it went like this, and it went like that. You tell me what it is. It had to be a UFO. A UFO is an unidentified flying object. Then in around 1990, just before I moved here to Salt Spring Island, I was working at the last place where I was driving a big tractor, and the one guy was on the loading machine, and he starts pointing up in the sky like that. So we shut her down, Vietnamese guy, and he said, disc, disc. He kept yelling disc. I looked up, and you see this brilliantly shiny object. It was like a round sphere. It was in Langley. It was up, I'm guessing, thousands of feet. We watched it. It seemed like eternity, but it was probably maybe 30 seconds, maybe 45 seconds, and then it took off. So I don't know what it was. It was a UFO. I haven't, but most people I know have. That's cool. Hi, there's Paul in there, right on. Radio's in the background, Paul. It's happening. There's lots of DX coming in. Not as much as usual, but there is DX coming in. A lot of Eastern stuff. There's Ohio, Indiana. This morning we had, or actually early this morning when I turned it on, there was Connecticut and Rhode Island and Delaware and stuff like that. I like the East Coast skip. And I also love the Central Pacific DX. And when I say DX on a radio, it's where the radio waves bounce off the ionosphere so you can get longer distances out of it. It's kind of fading in and out right now, propagation. I don't know what the first color was because it looked like the first UFO I ever saw, Palms, it looked like a satellite. It was so far away, like a little star. And then the second one was silver. It was like brilliant metallic. It was metallic. That's what it was. So I don't know what it was. I'm not saying it was aliens, but it was something definitely different, right? And it was in the summer. It was in the summer months. Said he saw blue, and wow, that's cool. I do believe in that stuff. I like to keep an open mind. Okay, I do like to keep an open mind. I can't say they don't exist. It's like Bigfoot. You know, I can't say they don't exist, but I think there's it's possibility with all the vast forest out there. There could be something out there hiding in the forest that's this elusive creature that doesn't want to be seen, right? And everybody's got a different opinion on things, but there's new species being discovered all the time, right? So even with plants, they discover these plants that never knew really existed. So why not? You know what I mean? Keep an open mind, and it doesn't hurt to do that. And some people are very narrow-minded, so they say it's either black or white. You know, so I can't say no. I can't say no to it because maybe they do exist. Did you see that one? Well, yeah, I was going to say, and I don't really know what that was, Tropical PDX. It was something we saw that day when we hiked into the bush. I think it was a deer trail. It wasn't even a great trail. Wendy loves to hike. She's hiking right now. I don't want to hike. I'm not much of a big hiker. And so we walked in off the creek a couple 100 feet, and that's when she spotted it first. And we just kind of froze when we watched whatever it was. I mean, maybe it was just a bear on its hind legs, but it didn't look very bear-like to us. And that's why I talked about it in the video. So a few other YouTubers have broken down that video, and the conclusion is the most of them don't think it's a bear. They think it's something else. Some people think it's BS. Well, if it was some crazy guy out there walking around in some sort of costume, that scares me more than a Bigfoot, definitely, because what are you doing out there in the bush? So anyway, once it got out of Wendy's sight, whatever that was, we got out of sight. We got out of there quick. There's Darius. Hello. Tropical PDX. Cool. Yeah, that's on Wendy's channel. And it generated a lot of views for her, that's for sure. And people did break it down. I think maybe 4 people have broken that video down, the Bigfoot experts that like to take stuff and break it down to see if it's fake or not. And they really couldn't come to a conclusion. So that's good. And well, you know what? I may never see anything like that again. And same with her, but it was definitely an interesting day, no doubt. And I'm glad she captured it on video because she didn't have a YouTube channel back then, and she didn't make videos, and she pressed record on her thing, and I'm glad she got it. It's pretty interesting, and I know there's a lot of videos out there, and there's a lot of BS out there too. So I know, yeah, it was something. I don't know what it was. I mean, a lot of people say it was a bear. I've seen bear in the past, a lot of bear, black bear. It didn't seem very bear-like. It almost seemed like something was foraging, like it was eating berries or something. There was, I think, salal berries at that time. There could have been huckleberries. I think there was huckleberries in there. So they have the same vegetation there as we have here. So we have huckleberries here, and there's a lot of salal in there that I noticed. So it might have been eating something. If it was a bear, it was on its hind legs foraging. But I don't think bears use their claws to eat, right? I think they just kind of grab them. So it almost looked like something was maybe pulling something off of the branches, right? Isn't that the way it kind of looked, the way the bushes were moving ahead of us? So we'll never know. Anyway, it's a mystery. So maybe that's kind of paranormal. I'm glad you watched the video. Thanks for watching. Whatever it was strange, man. And I'm sure you're a believer in Bigfoot then. And they say the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Washington, Northern California, and British Columbia are these known hotspots for these Bigfoot people, right? I'm not a Bigfoot expert. I don't really know a lot about them. I've seen Bigfoot shows and stuff like that in documentaries, but I'm not no Bigfoot expert. I'm a palm guy. So if you want to know something about palms, I can tell you about palms. I probably can't tell you anything about a Bigfoot other than that they are supposed to be big and hairy, right? In my Klamath County is one of the, yeah, cool. Well, you never know. Maybe one of these days when you're hiking out in the bush, you'll see something. So Wendy asked me if I wanted to go on a hike today, and I says I don't feel good enough to go hiking or Bigfoot. Yeah, that's cool. That's pretty cool, man. Oregon, like I say, the Patterson-Gimli film filmed in 1967 was Northern California, and they say to this day they could not replicate a suit of that quality. There's no like that's how it's real, right? Even the big movie producer says they could not replicate something like that, and that was 1967. There's a good guy to watch, How to Hunt. It's called How to Hunt. That's his YouTube channel. I think he's got about 100,000 subscribers or so. How to Hunt. And that's all he really talks about. And he's a down-to-earth guy, a no BS guy. You got to watch him. Tune into him and watch the one on the Patterson thing. And he talks about it. So it's called How to Hunt. And I was up in British Columbia somewhere. And that's what he is. He's a trapper hunter dude. And he'll tell you stories and stuff like that. That's what he does. He'll stand there and talk stories of Bigfoot. And people send in stories to him. Bigfoot Museum is 20 minutes from. Oh, cool. I'd like to see that. Bigfoot Museum. That'd be kind of cool. There was carved stuff over in Chemainus, and I don't see him anymore. I don't see him there anymore, but we drove by the last time and he wasn't there. But a couple of years ago, we drove past, and this guy was carving this Bigfoot out of it with a chainsaw. It had to have been 8 feet tall and maybe the dimensions of a Bigfoot. And I says, look at that. We stopped and shot a video of it. It was amazing, like the detail in it, everything. And I says, what are you going to do with that? Where are you going to sell that to? He says, somebody in Alberta bought it. They ordered it, and I couldn't even imagine how much the thing would cost or weigh. It was 8 feet tall, at least, massive, and getting shipped to Alberta. And the guy did it all with a chainsaw. I was like, super cool, man. I'd like to have that in my front yard. I think that'd be the most awesome thing. So, and who knows? Maybe they're even here on Salt Spring Island in the deep forest on the south end. There's a chainsaw carver by me that makes that. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, mine aren't so sophisticated, but I only do the folk art tiki. So, Paul, I saw something interesting, dirt biking Harrison Lake, not saying Bigfoot, but would have been biggest black. That is cool, Paul, and I believe it. Paul, I used to go dirt biking back in the day up on Vetter Mountain, and we'd go to Three Arrow and Vetter Mountain. So you remember Rob that lived down the road from you, and then a couple of our friends, and we load the bikes up. We'd load 3 bikes up with me, Rob, and one other guy. I'm trying to think of his name. And there are 3 of us. We load the bikes up into his brother's truck, and then we cruise up into the mountains, and we go all day up into Vetter Mountain. So I'd have my PE 250. I used to have the PE 175 Suzuki. Then I got the 250, and then Rob bought a PE 175. We bought them together. We bought both bikes together. First one's in 79 at Ernie Suzuki in Vancouver down in Dunbar, and then the second ones we bought at Modern Motorcycling. So, yeah, those were the fun times living in Langley, man. I had a good time there for sure. We had a dirt track around the back, and then, Paul, you had a XR75 Honda. I remember you ripping around on the road on that, too. Tropical PDX. I think most people don't understand how huge Vancouver Island is so big, man. Ride KLX 400 now. Cool. KLX 400 Kawasaki. Nice. I only have a street bike now. I have 2 dirt bikes sitting at the late mom and dad's place over in Duncan. So, yeah, I have a pretty good sized bike. It's just about 900cc. It's a Harley. So it's sitting in the garage. I just only take it out in the spring. Actually summer months. Summer to early fall. I license it from June till I think September 25th. Oh, listen. 357. Yeah, nice bike. I think that's a Kawasaki 400. I think most people don't understand how the huge Vancouver Island. Yeah. So Tropical PDX, I was going to say, it takes 7 hours to get from Victoria to the very northern end of Vancouver Island. That's Port Hardy, somewhere up there. I've been by it a few times on by a cruise ship, but I've never been up northern Vancouver Island. XR250 Honda. Sweet. Nice bike. 4-stroke, water cooled. Gotta love it. I bet you it's water cooled, isn't it? I remember Rob used to have a CR125. He bought from my buddy Gary Stunder. Gary lives here on Salt Spring now. And that was a loud bike. It was like, motocross bike. So you always got to rev it. I always got to rev those things. So I think the XR250 is a much better bike for trails. There's Richard in there. Hi, Richard. I've only seen far north as Parksville. Yeah, Parksville's nice. You should go play mini golf up there. No air, 6 gears. Oh, it's air cooled in 6 gears. Yeah, my bikes were 6-speed too. The 175 and 250. McLovin, there's McLovin. Richard Powers, am I okay? Not really. I got a bit of a stuffy nose. I got a head cold, so I'm not 100%, but I'm still good enough to do a live stream, and I'm also good enough to talk on. I'm also good enough to broadcast. Don't you love those microphones, those D104s? That's a preamp one, so I can crank the audio up on that one. The other one, that other one there, this one I bought in 1977, and I still use it. I bought that 43 years ago, and the only thing I did to it is put a new cord on it many, many years ago, probably about 30 years ago. I put a new cord on it, but They work really well, those D104 lollipops. That's good audio right there if you want to get out. Anyway, Richard, yeah, I'm okay, but I could feel better. So this week I'm off work just because you cannot go to work when you're feeling under the weather. Palms, you know the KX 400 green version. That's my they're cool bikes. I like dual sport bikes myself. I wouldn't mind getting another dual sport bike one day. Like I say, my bike is strictly a road bike, and definitely not going to go off road with my Harley. GD Gardens is here, right on. KLX 400 is that right? Is a Suzuki DRZ 400? Cool. I did not know that. Power, man, lots of power. Bigfoot, what's a Ravinia? It is a Majesty palm, Ravinia rivularis, and they're one of the most trickiest house plants to grow. Trust me, I've tried them many times and I'm done. Love your live stream. Thanks, Palms USA. We love you too. Thanks for being in there. It's the green version. That's cool. So they're both very powerful bikes. I'm guessing they're probably somewhere up, maybe 45 horsepower, something like that. Glad you're getting there. Oh, cool. Thanks, Richard Powers. Yeah, Wendy is out hiking right now with Kahu. She's out with our dog. If you've ever seen our dog, it's this cute little Yorkie Havanese. He's 8 pounds, and his full name is Kaho'olawe. So Kaho'olawe is actually, I got a picture of Kaho'olawe right here. Whoops. Kaho'olawe is this island right here off of Maui, right? It's about 11 miles off of Maui. That's an inverted cloud I took a picture of off of Kaho'olawe. So he is named after that island. So Kaho'olawe is the smallest of 8 Hawaiian islands, and they bombed that island for about 50 years testing bombs on it. So apparently they cracked the water table. So we call him Kahu for short because he was the runt of 8 puppies. All right, so that's the story behind Kaho'olawe. And what did I drop here? I dropped something. Okay, we'll put that there. Anyway, guys, yeah, good to have you in there. It's nice to do these live streams in this nice warm house with the wood stove going. Palm Nation is in there. Check out Palm Nation's Ultimate Sable group on Facebook. He's got the Ultimate Sable group. I posted a few pics, and I got a few more sable pics to post. And post your sable pics in there. I consider selling my dirt bike and saving for a dual sport. Yeah, dual sports are great because you can actually license them for the road. Vulcans are good bikes too. 800 Kawasaki's. I love Suzuki's, Hondas, Kawasaki's, Yamahas. They're good bikes. I've always went with Suzuki, but I've had Yamaha. I don't think I've ever had a Kawasaki though, but they're good bikes. GD Gardens. All my banana trees are toasty. I guess you've had frost down there. Yeah, no, we haven't had any frost up here yet. Not at this end of the island, but I guarantee you there was frost in town this morning because the low temperature here was 2.3 degrees Celsius. So there definitely was frost in town. And the bananas are still nice and green out here. Off-roading. Road trips are cool. You know, my bike, I just kind of ride it around here, and I go off island once in a while. We go over to Cow Bay, and I've been to Victoria a few times and Duncan and this and that, but mostly I just like to rip around the island on it. Palm Nations, they're dormant based on their peak set. Yeah, they'll go dormant. They will freeze right down to the ground. You know that when it gets really cold, and they'll bounce back in the spring. Yeah, it doesn't get a lot of frost there. It's never been below 20 degrees Fahrenheit where that jubea grows. Okay, I'm gonna try getting back to Missouri. Okay, let's listen to this, folks. See if I can get them. CQDX calling CQDX 9 Alpha Uniform 791 Southern Gulf Islands QSX. We're going to see if we can get Southwest Missouri. CQ Southwest Missouri, CQDX Show Me State, CQDX Missouri, 9 Alpha Uniform 791, Southern Gulf Islands, QSX. Kind of flat in there now.
305 British Columbia, 305 British Columbia. Peter Charlie, 822 Southwest Missouri,
822 Southwest Missouri, 9 Alpha Uniform 791, Southern Gulf Islands, QSX. I think he's calling me. Southwest Missouri, 9 Alpha Uniform 791, British Columbia, calling. Conditions are funny that way. Sometimes you can hear them, and they can't hear you. Lots of Missouri coming in, folks. 1.5. Okay, the low temperature, 2.3, Paul, and 0 frost here. How are your famous quarter lines? You know, in the car, Quebec was torched yet. That Palms USA, that Jubea has been growing outside since 1999. That's when we planted it here on Salt Spring. It's never been damaged, never been protected, never been damaged. I'm going to dig them up. Yeah. Oh, you're going to dig them up, GD Gardens. Yeah. Frost comes very late here, Paul, at this end of the island. It's just like I say, very narrow. And I don't know if Paul's seen this map. Turn this down a bit. Paul, we bring out the map again of Salt Spring Island. Okay, so Paul, when you fly over to, Paul's a pilot. So Paul, we live way up here on the north end of Salt Spring Island, way up there, right by the ocean. And see all this ocean, and you probably know about climate a lot. It keeps the temperatures regulated. So frosts come late in the winter, and they're usually done by late winter, and you don't really get any spring frost at this end of the island. Pause will be -1 for you. That's not too bad. -1, if it's -1 Celsius, that's not that bad. -1.5, not that bad. Let's hope the bananas do not burn badly today. Gentle Gardener. Oh, there's my friend. How are you doing? Good to see you in there. I love this gal. She's a sweetie. And you know what? She's in Belgium. And you know what else I like about her? She's got palm trees. How are those palm trees doing? The Gentle Gardener. Hopefully they're doing good. I mean, this girl's got 2 green thumbs, man. And I've seen what she grows. She's got 2 green thumbs. I only have 1 green thumb, but my friend in Belgium has 2 green thumbs. Good to see you in on the live stream. Join in any time. And if you have a comment, leave it. The Jubei is amazing. But you know what? Glad to hear you maybe. How is the code? I got to watch how I say that on here. It's nothing on our island that I know of. Thank goodness. Turn down my radio. Now my radio there too. I do talk to Belgium too. See, so if the Gentle Gardener had a radio, I could talk to you on that 2-way radio. You see, we could broadcast to Belgium on here. I've talked to many times to Belgium. Love Belgium. I'd love to go to Belgium. It'd be cool. If I ever go to Belgium, I'm going to visit the Gentle Gardener and we're going to check out her garden. And I'll probably have to bring her a whole bunch more palm trees. I sent her a bunch of palm seedlings a couple of years ago, and she sent me some yummy chocolates in return. And those chocolates were pretty awesome. It's Belgian chocolate, and you can't get better than that, right? I have one indoors. It's growing nice. Oh, yeah, send a pic for sure. That'd be awesome. Do that, please. I'd love to. PM me on Facebook. I'd love to see a pic of it. And if you ever want any more seeds, let me know, and we'll get some to you. And maybe in the spring, I'll send you some more seedlings too. The more, the merrier. You know, there are a lot of people in Belgium. Got to go. Okay, see you later, Palm Nation. That's not good. We're not going to have a moderator in here. So anyway, I can get you some more in the spring there, the Gentle Gardener. I want to do a trip to your island when I get my. Oh, you should, Paul. Come on over here, man. You'd love Salt Spring Island. You'd really like it here. It's a nice place to hang out. You're out.
Just was at the plant store.
Oh, Wendy hit the nursery. That's not good. You know, it's kind of like this. It's kind of like an alcoholic going to the liquor store, but they're eye candy to her because Wendy loves plants. What did you buy? She bought Exotica, I know.
Yeah, I bought a Formium.
She bought a Formium, variegated Formium.
I bought the variegated Pittosporum.
Thanks, the Gentle Gardener. Right on.
Variegated Pittosporum.
Pittosporum. Oh, she bought a Pittosporum. What did you buy?
Variegated.
Variegated Pittosporum.
2 of them.
2 of them.
And a bigger boxwood because I love boxwood.
Richard says hi. Live stream.
Hi, Richard.
440, British Columbia, Canada. We're standing.
Richard says hi, and Wendy says hi right back. Hello. So Wendy's got a vehicle full of plants, and I'm not going to help her plant them today because I'm kind of feeling under the weather. So.
Yeah.
No. Oh, no way. Oh. Anyway, the Swampsonia are doing just absolutely awesome here. By the way, I'll do another update video in another few weeks. Love Wendy. Yeah, Wendy's a great gal. She's Richard says loves Wendy. Well, you know what? At least she's buying good things, and plants are a good thing. And I think the Gentle Gardener would know the same, feel the same way. Buying plants. I like those emojis. We got 4 palm trees on there. That's perfect. I love it. Gotta love palm tree emojis. And no, I won't. I promise.
I'm making a tuna salad.
Okay, tuna salad. Tuna sandwich. Okay, I'll have one. I'll have one. Okay, she's gonna make a tuna sandwich. Generally, I don't like tuna sandwiches, but I'm kind of hungry right now, so I'm gonna have one. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, the Swampsonii palms I grow in the deep ravine are absolutely thriving down there on 100% neglect. So Bigfoot squad, big Swampsonii are amazing. I would plant them. Cape Hatter in the Cape Hatteries. Yeah, that Cape Hatteries I think is in North Carolina. Would it be 10A? Do you think? Palms. What would be 10A? Would it be 10A? You think? I missed something in here. There's probably some super small islands. Oh, there's a lot. Okay, there's an island off our coast called Mary Island, and it is a really high end of Zone 9A. I can tell you that. But the problem is it's a lighthouse there, palms, and I don't think there's any palm trees growing on Mary Island. So you can look it up. Merry Island. There's also some islands, probably about 700 miles north of here, maybe 600 miles north of here, something like that, called Triple Islands. And they're off the coast of Prince Rupert, I think out by Haida. And I had a friend that lived out there that was a weather observer for a few years. And he said, this is what he said. He said the 3 years he was there, the temperature never fell below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. But the problem is with those islands, you're not going to get the heat units, okay? So no heat units on the Triple Islands, but you could probably grow Trachycarpus there just fine, and some cool-loving plants. Let's see. Have you ever grown Butia odorata? I have Butia capitata in the ground, and I think maybe Butia capitata and odorata might be the same thing, right? Paraguayensis, no. There's a lot of Butias around here. You can see my latest video I uploaded the other day. Okay, have you ever grown Butia? Georgia's coming in right now. Gotta love Georgia. It's my youngest son's favorite place to travel to. Cape Hatteries has Phoenix canariensis, and yes, very mild up there. I've got palm seed from there, from Sables. Paul, best channel on YouTube. Nice mix of topics. Got to make my way to oh, cool, Costco. I'm jealous. You know, when I lived where you lived, there was no Costco, Paul. There was no Costco, and there was no Home Depot. There's none of that stuff there. We had Willowbrook Mall and Langley Mall. And I remember when they built Langley Mall back in 1980. So have a good trip to Costco. Wendy was over on the Big Island a few weeks ago, and she did a Costco trip. And I think, hey, Wendy, we're going to have ribs tonight, right? Okay, Wendy's going to pull out a rack of ribs. I just reminded her to pull out a rack of ribs. Paul's an awesome guy. I've known Paul since he was a kid. Most Butia are mixed. Yeah, interesting. Butia aerospatha would grow here. There was a nice one growing at Grace Point, and my buddy moved, so he wanted me to help him dig it out. And there's a video of it on Wendy's YouTube channel, digging out the Butia aerospatha. That was probably about, I don't know, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, maybe, something like that. Capitata, that was a mistake. They're mostly odorata. Okay, that's what I thought. Palms, maybe you could make the microclimate improved on those small islands to increase the heat units. I'd love to be on one of those. If I had a lot of money, if I had a ton of money, if I won the lottery, I would buy a small island out there. Not to mention buying something on Maui, but I'd buy a small island out there. And my dream would be to create this subtropical looking garden. So we know this is not a subtropical area, but you can create a garden that looks very subtropical by choosing the right plants, right? And if you walk through our garden at any time of the year, you will be blown away at our latitude. Anybody that comes and visits our garden is pretty blown away. I've had a lot of garden tours here over the years. I think since I've lived here, I've probably had about maybe 15 to 20 different garden tours. And I'm talking, some of them are big where there's bus loads come from off island, right? And they are pretty blown away when they see what grows here, what can be grown here. So what I do, there's no trick to it. Anybody can do it here. It's just picking the right plants for the climate. And they say, well, how do you grow this and how do you grow that, Joe? I says, do your homework. I've done my homework, and I know a lot of you guys have done your homework. So you can take an urban lot in the city and give it the wow factor by planting the right exotic plants and hardy palm trees and blow people away when they drive by. That's when they hit on their binders, right? And say, what is that? I'm going to tell you a story. There's a guy named Walt Rockefeller, the late Walt Rockefeller, that lived in North Seattle. And in 1965, he started planting palm trees and exotic plants in his city lot. And I've been to his garden. I got lots of photos of it. Absolutely blow you away. 30-foot palm trees everywhere, needle palms, huge jubea, butias, you name it. he's got them growing in his garden, sable minors and all that stuff. And every other lot around him looks totally normal, just the run-of-the-mill, crappy, boring plants. And then you come to Walt's place, and it's like, wow, it just grabs your attention. And that's what palm trees do, folks, when you plant them. You plant them in a climate where you don't expect them, it grabs people's attention. And you're also going to get the people that scoff at the idea, and then they'll tell you that palm trees don't belong here because they're not native to here. Those are the people that need to do their homework, and I give those people a good talking to. And I change their minds. Often we'll change those people's minds if you give them the right information and you give them the dirt on the hardy palm trees and the exotica. Only way to tell if it's a real Aerospath, the tropical PDX, is when it flowers. Okay, interesting. Well, Jeff in Victoria has a huge boutia in his garden. His wife makes, I probably told you this before, makes jelly out of the fruit. Let's just see. Yeah, I'm doing an early one today, palm tree dude. Bigfoot Mauna Kea. Desert or jungle? I don't know. I've never been up there before. I've never been to the Big Island of Hawaii. I've only been to Oahu and Maui. Wendy's been to the Big Island. Palms is English ivy. Yes, English ivy is the worst invasive species here besides English holly, the holly, ilex. Hedera is English ivy, ivy. It grows everywhere. I'll make a video of it and I'll show you. It's a weed on our property. Daphne laureola, and also laurel can be a weed too. There's a lot of things that become invasive here. The worst invasive species is Scotch broom and gorse. English ivy is invasive. Yes, it is. Bigfoot squad. Richard Power, great channel. I always try to like all your videos. Thanks, dude. I'm glad you're watching, and I'm glad you like them. And of course, this channel mostly pertains to gardening, but on these live streams, I do like to get off topic a little bit because you can only talk so much about palms as much as I love them, but it does we can get off topic, but that makes it a little bit more fun. It kind of breaks up the monotony. If you want to see other videos that are not strictly gardening, go to my other YouTube channel, Jungle Joe C, and that is more of a mixed channel. Yes, there's a lot of garden stuff on Jungle Joe C, but there is also some a lot of random stuff on there too. I just posted one this morning. You can tell me what you think of it. And there are those say that palms does not fit in. Oh, yeah, that's right. Palms do not fit in. Palms do not belong here. I hear that a lot over the years. That's all right. I straighten those people out real quick. I've given talks to the garden club in the past. They've invited me in as a guest speaker. And at the end, they actually got to shut me up because I only have about an hour to talk. And I keep on going. Hi, Jane. Aloha. Jane from Hawaii's in there. And the first thing I say when I'm up on stage there, and I got the microphone, I say, greetings, everybody, and nice to know each and every one of you is an exotic plant grower just like me. And they kind of look at each other. Oh, what is he talking about? I said, if you grow rhododendrons, you grow camellias, you grow petunias, pansies, tomatoes, and I go going on and on and on and on. It's like, well, yeah, we'll grow all that stuff. Lilacs, they're exotic plants. They're not native to this area, so you're exotic plant growers. Mac Attack's in there. Good to see you in there, Mac Attack. Awesome. And I have another moderator in here too. Actually, I have two other moderators. So one of them just took off. That's Tennessee Palms. Well, it's actually Palm Nation. Hi, Jane. Aloha. Good to see you in there making tikis. Yes, I do make a lot of tikis, but I'm not today. I'm glad you could make it here to Mac Attack. Japanese maples don't belong in BC. Yeah, you know what? And I tell them the same thing, tropical PDX. Yeah. I could not imagine Mexico without palm. Exactly. And there's a lot of palm trees native to Mexico. But I say the same thing. How about Japanese maples? They're okay to grow here, but a palm's not. People have a this funny notion about palms because they have fronds on them. They say, well, they don't belong here. They belong in California. And that's when I got to set them straight. Because, there's only one palm species native to all of California. Everything else has been introduced. I don't know. I don't know what the average low is, but I can tell you one thing. In the coldest winters, it doesn't really get much below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So I don't know. You'd have to go to a weather site and find out. I think the record low near Ganges is probably about minus 15 degrees Celsius. So 5 degrees Fahrenheit. It's never been below 0 degrees Fahrenheit here. Okay. And Ganges is about 11 kilometers south of where we live on the north end of Salt Spring Island. We're on the very northern tip, so it's completely different weather here in temperatures than Ganges. Does Arthritic Galley get winter damage? No. Not that I know of. Matter of fact, I gave the guy the seeds for it years ago. I got them from a guy at the Palm Society meeting. I didn't grow any. I gave them to him, and he grew it, and it's a tree in his garden. He passed away about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. So as far as I know, it's still there, unless the wife cut it down, because I know she got a lot of stuff removed from the garden. She wasn't. There's still a lot of big palms there, and lots of evergreen, like the live oaks, southern live oaks. But there was a lot of stuff that got removed in there too because it was getting overgrown. So anyway, hopefully it's still there and it didn't get cut down, because some things, when they're not blooming, they don't look as nice and people cut them down. Palms USA, palms, yeah, the entire northeastern middle Atlantic just has decimated by it. I've tried to remove it. Oh, wow. So it's a nasty thing over there too. I could listen to you all night. Ah, cool, Richard. That's awesome. Well, how's the weather there, Richard? Give me the dirt. How's the weather where you are? There's Chris Galley in Hawaii. I believe it, Jane. I don't think I've seen them, but I believe it. And boy, do I really wish I was in Hawaii right now. I am so looking forward to going back to Hawaii. In less than a year, we will be back on Maui tanning our hides, right, Miss T? Look at this. Look what she made me.
The hand. Here's the hand.
Want to see the size hand difference? Let's just do a little hand comparison here. There's my hand.
Oh.
And I think Wendy's got pretty big hands. But you see my hands? See how big that is? So
I know he's got.
I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna show you something. No, we're gonna make this more real. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, folks, we're gonna do a ring size comparison. Okay, so here we go. So put my ring on. Here's my ring. Okay, so we're off subject again. Here's my ring.
Right.
So put that ring on. Put it on your biggest.
Well, it's pretty loose. I don't know if they can see that.
Can you see that? See the space in there on her thumb? So let's put it on her finger.
Well, it's just
So that's a size 16, folks. Got to get those babies custom made. That's a size 16 ring right there. So anyway, I was born with big hands. What can I say? I'm a freak of nature. Let's just see. Arthritic, Krista Galley. Never seen them there, but I'll keep my eyes open next time I'm there, Jane. It's cold. I was wet. Trackies love it. Yeah, they do. They do love it. It's beautiful here. It's super sunny. It's clear. Not a cloud in the sky, and it's around 42 degrees, I think. 42 degrees right now, so it's cool out. And somebody else says hi, Wendy. I think Wendy says hi. Oh, I love this. Is going to be a good sandwich. That's good. Sorry, I'm eating my lunch, folks. Richard Power says hi, Wendy, again. Some of you guys might be on my Facebook page, so Wendy's also on Facebook. And check out some of my palm groups on Facebook, okay? I do have palm groups out there. Jane's in people who love palm trees and exotic plants. And she posts some good photos. 11 degrees Celsius palm tree, dude. That's, you know what? 11 is fine. It's a pretty good sandwich. Tennessee's coming in. Tennessee's coming in. See, that's what I used to do long before internet. I used to be on the radio a lot. I grew up with these things. So then internet came in, and now this has kind of died off. But we're kind of a dying breed, people that talk on these things. But I never, ever got rid of my equipment. I always kept my equipment, and I've added more equipment to it. And I love talking on it still. I'll never get sick of it. Just like motorcycles. I've been in motorcycles since day one, and I'll never get rid of a motorcycle. My dad had me on motorcycles when I was 6 months old, and I got pictures of it to prove it. And I started to learn to ride a mini bike when I was 3. I got my first mini bike in 1967 when I was 3 years old. And it was a little Indian with a Briggs & Stratton in it. And it's pretty cool. My dad used to have a motorbike shop in Vancouver back in the day, 1960. I think to 64, he had it, something like that, down on Fraser Street. No, Maine. It was Maine. Tennessee has a warm microclimate. Yeah, southern Tennessee is very warm. It's very warm down there right now. Excuse me, folks. Arkansas coming in. Wow, cool. I got a lot of friends in Arkansas. And there's some great palms that grow in Arkansas. Southwest Tennessee, yeah. I've seen palmettos in Tennessee. I've seen more sable miners there, though. Bigfoot, no. There's been palm trees growing on this island long before I came. We bought here in 1978, my mom and dad, and the oldest palm tree I know on this island was planted about 1965. So I just added a lot more palm trees and bananas. I introduced bananas to the island, but I didn't introduce palm trees to the island. But since I've been here, there's a lot more palm trees. I can tell you that. Jason, in the windmill palm's habitat, at most topsoil is frozen, but underneath it is. Oh, cool. That's very interesting. Sable miner is native to Warren City, Arkansas, and I have a greenhouse full of them, and I have a lot of them in the garden here. I've grown a ton of those from seed, hundreds and hundreds of razorback sable miner. There are native sable miners in Chattanooga. I don't know. I've never heard of native sable miner there, and it doesn't show up on the map, right? But maybe they are. Somebody said they were once native to southern Missouri too. Jane Tang, Erythrina sandwich, spiny tree, nice blossoms made into Oh, cool. That is why they call me Banana Joe. Well, you don't ever make up your own nickname. Somebody gave me this nickname a long time ago. I'll tell you how I got the nickname. People used to call me Jungle Joe. So that's why my other YouTube channel is called Jungle Joe. When I was back in school, there was a teacher, a few people would call me Jungle Joe. I think only because I had long, messy hair. So back in the late 1990s, we had this wicked snowstorm here, like a lot of snow. It wasn't a blizzard, just a lot of snow. There's a weather observer writing his weather report in the paper, and he says, I wonder how Banana Joe and all his tropical plants are making out on the north end of Salt Spring Island. Banana Joe Clemente, he said my name. From that day on, people started calling me Banana Joe. So that's how I got the nickname. It came from a weather observer. He passed away a long time ago, and he actually about 20 years ago, he gave me one of his Stevenson screens. He was a long-time islander, and he lived to just about 100 years old. So I got the nickname from that guy. His name was Robert. Maybe you will go down in history of one of those naturalized or disliked for spreading them around. They'll be like weeds. You know what? There's some people that hate palm trees. Or people here that don't like palm trees. And there are people that hate eucalyptus trees too. I love all palm trees. I like some more than others. I'm more of a fan palm guy, more than feather palms. I love Bismarckia, Lantania. I love sable miner, Rhopidophyllum. Some of the other Trachycarpus species. I think my least favorite feather palm would be Areca. I love majesty palms, but not as a houseplant. When I see them growing in Southern California, they're just absolutely beautiful. And I actually have a short video I shot in 2008 of majesty palms growing at Costa Mesa, California. It's like a 10-second video of these majesty palms at the, I think it was the Pacific Coast Plaza Mall or something in Costa Mesa. Absolutely beautiful. Palm Tree Dude, can I send you a picture of them in Tennessee? They were yeah, please do send me a picture of them. Posted on people who love palm trees and exotic plants. Yeah, Bigfoot Squad, there are people that hate them. Trust me. I know. I run into them all the time. But you know what? They're talking to the wrong person when they tell me they hate a palm tree. I don't want to talk to those people. Yeah, happens here, Palm Tree Dude. They cut down palm trees. Nice palm trees have been cut down here too. There's one at Grace Point. Beautiful one, bare trunk, tracky, 15, 20 feet tall, cut down. Jane Tang, maybe someone will make a banana forest. Banana Joe forest. If I lived in Hawaii, yeah, that'd be good. There's a lot of banana growers over here. When I introduced bananas to this island many moons ago, they did scoff at the idea. But now there's so many people growing them, they're the easiest thing to grow. And I think most of you know that if you get the right ones for this climate. What are the best eucalyptus for Pacific Northwest? Well, out the window right now, I'm looking at eucalyptus grove. So we have 100-foot eucalyptus, Dallarium pleana. There is lots of passiflora out there, Niphophila, Parvula, Perniana, Nitens, Neglecta. I'm just trying to think, Gunnii, Archeri. There's just, the list goes on and on and on. Nova Angelica, Cordata. There's a lot of different eucalyptus. So my advice to you is Google best eucalyptus trees for Pacific Northwest. If you live near the water, it's better. If you live inland, there's a good chance they're going to get hammered in a bad freeze. Yeah, neglect is a good one. Eucalyptus debusavilli is much more cold hardy, and I like the looks of it too, but I love neglecta. We have neglecta growing in our garden too. Also, Black Sally is a good one to grow here too. Eucalyptus stellulata. You know what? There was a big Tasmanian blue gum growing at Grace Point for 20 years, and they cut it down last year. It just absolutely made me sick. There's some old eucalyptus trees on Salt Spring Island. The oldest one planted in 1971 was cut down 2 summers ago. I have videos of it on here. Jason Gillis, I like California. Fan palm leaves. I agree. I'm with you. Does St. Mary Lake ever freeze? Oh, yeah. About 4 years ago, they were skating on that lake. I got a video of me standing on that lake frozen. The last time it froze was 25 years ago. So it's very rare. So about once every 25 years, St. Mary Lake will freeze. During that winter, St. Mary Lake is about 5 kilometers south of here. That winter, my low temperature was minus 4.1 degrees Celsius here, but people were skating on that lake because although the temperature never was frigid, it stayed cold for like about a week, right? Enough to freeze that lake. And St. Mary Lake is a very shallow lake. I think it's only like 90 feet deep. So there were people out there skating on it for a couple of days, and then it kind of got slushy and they couldn't anymore, but they did actually skate on it. And I got a video of me on one of the lakes too. It might have been St. Mary or Cushion Lake. Cushion Lake froze even more because Cushion Lake's in a cold spot. Richard, do you ever find out who was pruning the palm tree? No, I don't. I've never met her. I know it's a girl because I talked to the other gardener that used to be there. And I don't know if it's probably a good idea that I meet her because I heard she's got a little bit of an attitude. And then if she comes, if she gets kind of angry with me or upset with me for saying something, I'm probably going to get nastier back at her. So it's probably a good thing that I don't, because when I see what she did to the palms, it really infuriates me. So, like I would like to give her advice, but some people don't take advice too well. And I'd say, you know what, I'm just going to give you some good advice when it comes to palm trees. Try not to remove any green fronds. It's not a good practice. They don't lose them in the wild. So don't take them off if they're healthy. And, apparently she's a master gardener and a landscape architect. I don't care what she is. Don't take off green fronds. But if I tell her not to do that, some people get really high-minded and offended. So, you know what I mean? She might get really upset with me. So maybe it's not a good thing to do. Yeah, the poor palms. Arresting her might be good too. Danak, Demo. Yeah, 9 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's only about 6 degrees Celsius here right now. Yes, those poor palms, Mac Attack. I agree. Mac Attack used to live here. Excuse me, folks. I'm eating still. Just about done. You know what? Their business is palms in California. BigPalmMovers.com, if they're still around. They'll come and knock on your door. If they see something they'd like to offer you big money for it. And if you're not too attached to your Phoenix canariensis or Brahia armata, they'll pay you big money for it and dig it out for you and then sell it. I've moved a lot of big palm trees here over years, and you can see the videos of me moving palm trees. Use an excavator and a crane for the big ones. Yeah, some people put chainsaws to them. It's silly, isn't it? Better just give them away. I made a mistake of removing green fronds October, and the tree is, oh no, Bigfoot squad. That's not good. That's not good. That's too bad. Sorry to hear that. No lollybally pine, but we have a Mexican long needle pine with super long needles on it. They'll grow here. Lollybally is native to the East Coast, I think. Yeah, Palms USA, they pencil prune those things in Southern California. And that's why a lot of people think palm trees look ugly, right? You got this telephone pole with a little bit of crisscross boots on it. And then you got like 3 fronds sticking out of the top of it. Washington, let's just see. Anna, have you ever thought of taking giant CAB California? No, because I don't have the money to do that. But you know what? There are CIDPs in private gardens here. Do it. I don't. I think they're going to need heavy protection, Jason, in Wyoming. But hey, go for it. You'd have to box them all in. There's a guy in Oklahoma that does it. Palm tree dude. Lullabies are probably the most common. Cool. We have shore pine here. Up in the mountains. Way up in the mountains, though. Chain dang. Pines don't belong in the Hawaiian forest. Keep them in the garden. Is that right, eh? That's interesting. I didn't know that. Palms, the South American palm weevil has been introduced to Tijuana. Oh, that's not good. Not good. We don't have any palm pests or diseases up here this far north. Palms, USA. Pin oaks. Yeah, we got pin oaks growing in Ganges, but they were introduced here. Yeah, that was a good sandwich. Put bok choy in it. I love bok choy. Palms, I have a lot of CIDPs, but I grew them from seed. And they're in pots. I got them in 15, 20-gallon pots. And I have some in the greenhouse in 2-gallon pots. Okay. Done with that. That was yummy. Maui, the Big Island, has many pines in the forest. But Jane, are they native there? I'm curious. It's like DX has faded away. So, yeah, are there native palm tree or native pine trees in Hawaii in the Maui forest? I've heard of them taking California fan palms. There's some nice ones growing in New Mexico. And I bet you they can take temperatures down to near 10 degrees Fahrenheit, I bet you. Dry climate, they can take way more cold. Same with Maui Big Island has too many pines. Okay. Yeah, I read that one. What's the coldest temperature California pan palms, Jason, take? I'm going to guess, and correct me if I'm wrong, probably down into the double digits, like 10 degrees Fahrenheit or so, and a dry cold, but not a wet cold. They hate our winters here. It's too damp. Bigfoot. There are many palmettos in sheltered locations unprotected West Virginia. Yes. There's lots of them growing in Virginia Beach, that's for sure. Norfolk, Virginia, there's probably palmettos growing there too. Oh, sweet gum trees are another common tree. Yeah, we grow those here. Liquid amber. There's lots of them growing here on Salt Spring. No conifer is native to Hawaii. Is that right? See, Jane, I just learned something from you. You're awesome. Okay, that's good to know. No conifer native to Hawaii. West Virginia is mainly mountains and cold. Interesting. What's your name? My name is Joe. Luca Billick. I think they can take below zero in desert climates. Oh, California found. I wouldn't doubt it. They probably have taken below 0 degrees Fahrenheit in desert climates for short durations. Yeah, Jane's lucky. She lives in Hawaii. I'm envious of her. I would like to be in Hawaii right now. I never take Hawaii for granted. It is one of my favorite places on the face of the earth. People ask me that. Why do you always go back to Hawaii? Because we love Hawaii. I got pictures of Hawaii on my wall. I got a nice picture up here at the Black Sands Beach at Kalapana. I bought it on Oahu years ago, and I got a dry mountain frame. So got Hawaii there, got New Zealand there, and behind the door here, we got a map up there of Hawaii, and we got Waikiki Beach over here. You see that? That's a clock map of Hawaii right there. Let's just see. Palm tree. I used to live in northern Kentucky by the Ohio River. No palmettos. Saber. Yeah, can get pretty cold down there in the winter. So exposing California pine might as well make them. I don't think it'll make them hardier. I think bigger palms you got to get seed from good palms, so good ecotype, right? No native Hawaiian pines, Bigfoot. So those pines are introduced to lumber. Oh, interesting. So they could be invasive. Wow, interesting. Well, there's a lot of people in there today. And, it was really nice to see my friend in there from Belgium. That was really cool that she hopped in there and said hi. She's a really, really nice gal and a great gardener. So she grows a lot of vegetables. And we've been following each other on Facebook for a long time. The Ohio River is absolutely not I think it only grows 7 8. Yeah, I'm not too sure. I don't know the climate zone over there unless I look at a zone map. But I know it can get pretty cold. Some of those places. Is the Colorado desert cold? Yes, I would imagine it is. Made by humans. Huh. Interesting. We're 100% influenced by the Pacific Ocean here on the Southern Gulf Islands. Okay, we're islands out in the ocean, and that's what influences our weather here is the Pacific Ocean. So if a cold snap is going to come down from Alaska, that dry, cold air, it mixes with our mild, moist Pacific air, and that usually translates into snow. You know what I mean? So I can live without snow. I do not like snow. I rather have clear and cold. I rather have -1 or 2 degrees Celsius, clear and cold on a winter day than wet, heavy snow. I don't even like the looks of snow. Okay, snow to me belongs on the mountains or somewhere very cold. Because California fan palms million. There are no 8B microclimates. They're big, maybe 7B. There's we're spilling out artificial heat. Jane Tang, pines are invasive to the high elevation since they produce cones. Oh, interesting. Hey, I'd like to try one of those pines here. It's a nice area here. Living on the islands, you have to get adapted to island life. I like island life. A lot of people, it's not for them. So they think they want to live here in the Gulf Islands. So they move from other parts of Canada because our winters are so mild and they get island fever because the only way off and on this island is by boat. Okay, and it's expensive to live here. I'm not going to lie; it's a very expensive place to live. Land is expensive, but also everything else, groceries, gas, everything is more expensive on these islands because it has to be brought here by boat. So, but the bonus is the plus side of it. You can garden year round. When we do get snow, it doesn't last very long. It's quite, I would say, a boring climate. There's really nothing too much exciting about the climate. It's very rare to see a lightning storm. There's no tornadoes. Once in a while, you get a windstorm. It's either rain or sun or clouds. That's it. So, so when there's a weather event, I get pretty excited about it, especially a big windstorm. I go to Ohio frequently. And needle palm, seedlime, possibly windmill out some areas in the only palms. Yeah, I know. I've seen needle palms growing in Ohio, in southern Ohio. I don't know if Trachycarpus would be long term, but there is a guy in Ohio that posts pictures of his Trachycarpus, but I think he protects it, and he's posted it on Zone Pusher site in Facebook a lot, and it's quite a pretty good size windmill palm, but it looks like a Trachycarpus nova to me. My friend Jacob Rossieri and tomatoes on the south side of his house against a brick strip between the building. Wow. Interesting. He must put heat cables around them or something. So getting seed from Colorado fan palms to work where you live. California fan palms are absolutely useless here, and I don't care where they come from. They don't like the wet winters. They do not like wet, cold winters, and our winters are wet and cool. And Washingtonia robusta can stand up to more winter wetness than a Phylifera. That's why when you go to the Oregon coast, you will see huge Washingtonia robusta. They get 80 inches of rain or so in Brookings and Gold Beach. Here, we only get 30 to 35 inches of rain annually. We're much drier. We're much drier than a lot of people think we are here, right? And our rain comes in the winter months. This is the rainy season we're in. So see some nice sunny days. We got a stretch of sunshine. It's awesome. Palm Tree Dude, please take a video of that. Live by the two different states. Never saw one. Yeah, I'd like to see that too. Okay. Jane Tang, Lullaby, Monterey / Pines, Mexican line here found in high elevation. So there is say long needle pines. So the long needle pine we have is like I say, the Mexican one. It's been outside in a pot for years. I just planted it this year. Wendy said put it in the ground. So I would like to try another long needle pine. The Mexican one's totally hardy here. Yeah. Redwoods, we grow a lot of redwoods, Bigfoot Squad. There's lots of redwoods all over Salt Spring, and we have 2 big ones, 3 big ones on our property. We have 2 coast redwoods I planted as saplings, and then we have the Sequoia dendron giganteum. Pump Joe, what is the license plate behind you? Yeah, we collect license plates too. You should see them. We have a ton of them. This is a cool one here, and then we got This one here is Guam. Okay. This one here is Hawaii. You know, the oldest Hawaii plates we have, 1959. And we have actually, Wendy has mint 1961 license plate from Hawaii. And another Hawaii plate here. Another Hawaii plate here. Yeah, and then there's some out on the shed. I have Panama, North Dakota, California. I got them from all over. Here's a really cool one. You like plates? Saskatchewan, 1969. Yeah, we got a ton of license plates. Got them on the little garden shed out there. They look pretty cool. Tim Johnson, what is going on there, big fella? Good to see you in there. Let's just see. Redwoods, Joe. Yeah, so there you go. I'm glad that you're a license plate enthusiast. They're pretty fun to collect. It's like collecting stamps or coins, right? Richard Powell, Joe, I have 3 needle palms that have black spots. Yeah, you know what? They are susceptible to that here too. So to prevent that, what you can do is build a little shelter over it. Just put a plastic bag over it. Make sure there's some air movement underneath. I got one that I've been experimenting with, and it's a beautiful needle palm. We have 7 needle palms, and I got a yellow plastic bag over it, but it's open underneath. So I made a little metal structure. I just put a couple of metal stakes in the ground, put the plastic bag over it, the yellow plastic bag. It keeps it dry all winter, and it is blemish-free by spring. Now, the ones out in the open usually get spots on them because they don't like the cool, damp winter weather, but they're fully hardy here. Okay, Tim Johnson's in there. Yes, Guam is a... Is it? Guam is a U.S. territory? Yeah, we know it's a U.S. territory, but I've never been there. Love the green trachycarpus seed. Yeah, they do look like grapes. So stay tuned. I'll make a video of them when they turn black. I will be offering those on eBay in a couple of weeks because I don't like to ship green seeds because you get people that get upset with green seeds for some weird reason. I have a bike license plate from Panama. Oh, cool. Miles, right on. Miles Von Liam. Ours is a blue one I have. It's an older one, and it's just a car plate. Jane Tang, it's the first winter. Keep the koa seedlings in the tiki hut. Or, yeah. Or the greenhouse. I could probably keep them in the greenhouse too, Jane. Yeah, right on. Try that. And you know what? I'm going to shoot another video of that maybe today when I'm done this live stream, and I'll put it up on this channel or my other channel. So be sure to check out my other YouTube channel, okay? Because there's a lot of gardening stuff on there. I think there's like 4,000 videos. I started that channel in April 2012, and so 2 channels going here. My first channel, I don't upload onto it anymore, but there's a lot of random stuff, but there's also a lot of palmy stuff on there too. So I'll do a video for you so you can see what it looks like, how nice it looks. Lots of palms in Guam, you know it. I'd love to go to Guam. I'd like to check that place out. Guam is on my travel list. Guam is plagued by invasive snakes. Don't like invasive snakes. Another reason I love Hawaii, there's no dangerous snakes yet, and I pray to God that nobody lets any snakes loose there. Bringing snakes to Hawaii. Good. Yeah, I think I heard that. There's lots of mongoose there, though. I see a lot of mongoose. I got some good videos of mongoose, believe it or not. Guam is the island with the most... Really? You're kidding? Oh, wow, that's crazy. When I'm in Hawaii, I see a lot of in-shape people there. It's just the out-of-shape people I see visit from the mainland, right? But a lot of people there seem to be pretty good shape because they do a lot of outdoorsy things. That's one thing you won't see here on Salt Spring Island. It's very rare to see a obese person. I'm not lying, and I have nothing against obese people, but I'm just saying it's very, very rare to see overweight people here on Salt Spring Island. Most people you see are slim or in pretty good shape because there's a lot of outdoor, people do a lot of outdoor activities. There's a lot of hiking and outdoor stuff going on year round. I brought back seed in 2005, abandoned in Victoria, Canada with his, that must have been Tim. That must have been my buddy, Jeff. Was that Jeff? Palm tree dude. Hawaii is a highly venomous sea snake. Really? I didn't know that. That's interesting, palm tree dude. And I'm in the ocean a lot there. I'm more worried about the sharks. Palms USA. The Everglades is beautiful and has lots of palm invasive broom. Yeah, I've heard there's pythons down. There's also probably alligators or crocodiles. You went there last year. Palm, cool. I've been to Florida, but only to Miami. Yes, that's true about Guam. They are very... That's interesting. I did not know that. I had no idea. So must be a lot of junk food there. Here on Salt Spring Island, there's no junk food allowed, okay? You'll never see a fast food restaurant or a big box store. If we want that stuff, we got to go to the mainland, which is a long ferry ride, or we go to Vancouver Island, which is a close ferry ride. But if you want McDonald's or A&W or all that stuff, you go over there. And when we go over there, we do treat our stuff to A&W. I do like A&W burgers, but it's a treat for us because there's no fast food here on Salt Spring Island. Palms is sad, but the true Polynesians have trouble because they evolved to go weeks. Only coconuts traveling. Interesting. Tegus python. Iguanas. I love iguanas. I had iguanas for pets, eh? I had iguanas for pets years ago before I moved here. I sold them. I had them for 10 years. And I had big iguanas too. I got them when they were small, and then they got really big. And I made a really cool cage inside, and I had a cage outside for them in the warmer months. Tim Johnson, the hybrid Trachycarpus are really cold hardy here in 7A. I'm going to try Trachycarpus. Yeah, I'd love to get. Apparently, Tim, I have take-heel in pots. That was the seed that was sent to me from Europe. So let's pray that it's pure take-heel, because most of the other stuff I got was junk, and it wasn't take-heel. So I'm hoping these are true take-heel, and I should actually plant one in the ground and test it out this winter. They're in the unheated greenhouse anyway. I saw iguanas in Florida Keys. Wow. They're invasive, yeah. They were introduced there. I think they're mostly native to Mexico and Central America. There's Jonathan. Jonathan's in there. How's everything going in the Buckeye State? I don't see iguanas in Florida. I don't see any. The only thing I see in Hawaii are the native geckos, and then I guess the little anoles. They're everywhere. There's lizards everywhere in Hawaii, little ones. Bigfoot, dude. Iguanas are invasive lures. Wow, interesting. Apparently you can eat them, eh? That is fantastic. Love no junk food. Yeah, there's no junk food here. Nothing. You will not see any neon signs on Salt Spring. Like there's no big neon signs in front of businesses. Those aren't allowed. So everything's carved out of wood, right? It's a pretty funky, laid-back place. So Salt Spring Island, there are no traffic lights. Okay, first thing you'll notice when you get here, there's no traffic lights on Salt Spring Island. They put in a four-way stop about 4 years ago, and it really messed with people's minds. And there's this intersection down the road about 8.5 kilometers south of here. It's called Central. So it's Vesuvius Bay, Upper Ganges, Lower Ganges, and North End Road. They meet at this intersection. On one corner is the fire hall. You've seen my videos of where the palms grow at Central Fire Hall. The other corner, there's Central Hall, which is the cinema and a community hall and a graveyard behind it. And then to the right is Portlock Park, our sports fields. There used to be a lot of accidents there as the island got busier. So then they put in a four-way stop. So that's the only four-way stop on our island. Yeah. Well, I've eaten crocodile palm tree, dude, and it was good. Yeah. And you know what, Tim? Like I say, once in a while, we'll treat ourselves when we go off island. We'll have an A&W Papa Burger or Mama Burger. I actually like their spicy habanero chicken. Sam Rogers. Hello, Joe. I'm new to your channel. I'm looking for... Hey, cool. Thanks for joining in, Sam. Good to have you in there, buddy. And if you can learn something from here, that's a good thing. And if you have any questions, fire away. And if you want us to make a video for you, we can make a video for you. And yeah, check out the videos here. We have a lot of them. There's no shortage of videos on this channel. I don't know how many thousands of videos are on here, but I know there's a lot of them. I've lost count. I've been uploading to this channel since early July 2010 nonstop. Okay, like every single day, and so they add up after a while. So that's why there's a lot of videos on here. Is there mostly intersections or roundabouts in Canada? Here on the Big Island, if you go to Vancouver Island, there's a lot of roundabouts. And Vancouver Island, or in Vancouver now and in the suburbs, there's starting to be more roundabouts, but there's lots of intersections. Lots of intersections when you go to Vancouver. Vancouver's a big city. Cuba. Palms. They're mostly okay. I'm reading these comments here, and they're just flying in and out of here. Lots of comments. In-N-Out is the best fast food. Oh, In-N-Out Burger, right? I think it's In-N-Out Burger, right? Palms USA. I have a true take-heel that came from. Oh, cool. Well, that's good. They're supposed to be pretty hard. There's a guy in Utah that's been growing them for a while. The first batch he tried, they got pretty big, and then they died. He's got some new ones, but he imported them big. Jane Tang, if people discover they could grow koa and so they could grow their own, that would be cool. That would be cool, Jane. And I know it's probably good wood because it is good for building stuff like making instruments out and whatever. Okay. Pants to Light Nursery cloned it. Oh, no way. That's cool. Huh? I see the wrench in their Palm Nation. Okay. You guys better be good. You see, I don't know if when Palm Nation shows up there, I don't know if he shows up to you guys as a moderator. You see Palm Nation in there? When I see Palm Nation, he's highlighted in blue and he's got a big wrench beside his name. So Palm Nation watches for trolls and spammers and stuff like that, and he gets rid of them right away. When should I cut off the stalks, the green seed? You know what? You can cut them off now. Watch my video I just shot. I just uploaded it, Richard, on harvesting green palm seeds. Harvest them green, and they will turn black if you dry hang them in a good place, air circulation. All In-N-Out restaurants plant palms, pair of crops. Oh, cool. See, In-N-Out is my kind of restaurant. If they grow palm trees, I'm going to go eat there. See, so if I'm driving down the road and I'm hungry and I see a restaurant with no palm trees, and then I keep driving and I see a restaurant with palm trees, that's what I'm going to be attracted to, just because I'm a palm nut, right? I'm sure you guys feel the same way. It's a pretty neat place. Tim, if you're ever up this way, next time you're up on the coast of Canada, make sure to come and visit us. You watch Jake and Nicole. They're north of me. They're way far north of me, up I think Baker Island, off of northern Vancouver Island. So they're in the Great Bear Rainforest. Okay, so our Southern Gulf Islands are the southernmost chain of islands off the southwest coast of British Columbia, and then of course there's Vancouver Island with islands on the west coast and then northern. Yeah, you can cut green palm trees seeds off now if they're right. There's an on island Pickwick near half it's Alabama and half Tennessee. I wonder. Oh, it probably does. I'm sure there's palm trees growing there too, Palm Nation. And if not, I expect you to go down there and start scattering palm seeds around. It could be a Sable Minor island or more. I went to one Washington, Utah, and they said, oh, they had massive palms, right, on Palm USA. My kind of restaurant. There's a Boston Pizza in Victoria with big palm trees in front of it. Really big palm trees. The thing is, once you get off the ferry from our island to Swartz Bay in Victoria, which is a very short ferry ride, 30-minute ferry ride off the southern end of our island, immediately start to see palm trees. You drive a little bit, and then you'll see some in people's yards. There's some at the ferry terminal, big Cordy lines, but you're driving, there's this place that sells RVs, lots of palm trees there. Then you drive a little bit farther, and then there's this nursery with these 30-footers in front of it. And then you drive a little farther, and you just start to see them all over the place. Victoria, there's a lot of Trachycarpus palms. Jane Tang, Colorado is zone 6 or 5, I think. Yeah, Colorado can get really cold in the winter, but it's a dry cold. And it depends where you are in Colorado, right? If you're up in the mountains, it's probably even colder. Tim Jones, so you are like the palm pioneer. Maybe more so on the island here because I've been spreading them around a lot more. But the real palm pioneer here, Tim, was Gerard Puri. Gerard Puri is the real palm pioneer on our coast. God rest his soul. He was a good friend of mine, and he used to come and stay with us here. He lived in Vancouver. And the deal with Gerard Puri, he had Oak Ridge Landscaping, so he only planted a lot of palm trees for people. He started planting them back in the mid-1960s. So he's a Swiss dude that immigrated here. And when he was in Lugano, southern Switzerland, he went outside the hotel, and there's a palm tree dripping with seeds, lots of palm trees. So he pulled off some of those palm seeds, brought them back to Canada. And in mid-1960s, he planted some palm trees in his front yard in Vancouver, and they're still there today. He died in 2012. His wife, I think, is still around, but his place looks like a flippin' jungle, city lot, and full of palm trees. And he had a palm nursery in the backyard. I have videos of his garden here. You can go to Old Palm Trees in Vancouver, and you will see Gerard's garden. And I have some newer videos of his garden. They're just amazing. And all of his neighbors in his neighborhood have palm trees because of him. And I'm not talking small palm trees. Some of them are 30 feet tall. He planted a lot of palm trees, and he'd tell me where they were. Joe would go here and go there. This is back in the day, back in the 80s. And I go around and look at the palm trees he planted back then. Palm Nation. Palm tree. No, you didn't miss anything. I'm just babbling away here. Tim, I'm more the banana pioneer on this island because I did introduce bananas here. So I can take some credit for introducing bananas here. Palm Nation, I've been scattering seeds here in classics. Good. Keep scattering the seeds. You can never scatter enough seeds around. And I have one more stock of last year's seeds I'm going to scatter around too. And I'll scatter that around the back, or I might scatter it in the nature trail. I've been scattering them in the nature trail there for a while too. So there's a bunch growing on the way to the beach. There is a Trachycarpus wagnerianus that has been 15 plus years. And that's cool. Grand Junction, Colorado. I've talked there many times on my radio. And that sounds like a pretty long-term palm because it can get cold in Grand Junction. But it's dry there. And they also get heat. It depends on the part. Southeast corner, 6A. Island Lake. Why? Interesting. So I have a cordyline torbay palms, 5 years old. Move it. Be very careful moving those, Sam, because they don't like root disturbance. And if you damage a taproot, it will kill them. I've never had good luck moving big cordylines, but I've taken out lots of self-seeded cordylines. Well, we pulled out seedlings last month when we were in Victoria. There's seedlings growing everywhere, little ones. Wendy pulled them out. But in a friend's garden here, there's self-seeded cordylines everywhere. So I dug some out, and one died and the other one's made it. I have own root roses shipped to me from Colorado. Oh, cool. So they're not grafted roses, Jane. That's interesting, on their own rootstock. That's a good question, Jason. When do California fan palms produce seed? I don't really know, because there are no California fan palms big enough up here to produce seed. And the only California fan palms you're going to see here are in pots, unless somebody's going to be protecting it. Where is that lake? Because it doesn't seem to exist. Palm Nation's in there. Palm Nation's on the ball. You watch Palm Nation, you guys. Tell me something. When you guys see Palm Nation's name there, is it highlighted in blue? I just want to know, where I'm the only one seeing Palm Nation highlighted in blue with a wrench beside it. Am I the only one seeing that, or are you? Or does he show up as the moderator on here? Why is there no irrigated coconut so tender? I don't think. I think it's just too dry in Arizona, and it gets too cold there at times. But there are Bismarckia. I don't know. Has anybody ever tried a coconut, Cocos nucifera in Arizona? They're the northernmost coconut palm I knew of was growing in Newport Beach, California, planted in 1984 in front of an insurance company, and it petered out a few years ago, and it was more, I think, from neglect and drought. But it was a really beautiful palm tree, and you can Google images of that palm tree. Coconut palm in Newport Beach, California. Apparently the most northern coconut palm tree in the world. If you know of another one, established, I'm talking. And there was a sign in front of it, said this is the northernmost coconut palm tree in the world. I can see it too. Oh, you can see it. Okay, thanks, Richard. Okay, so Palm Nation shows up as a moderator here. So when you see somebody's name highlighted in blue, he is the moderator here. Okay, so that's good. I'm not the only one seeing. I thought maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe I'm just seeing blue. I like blue. Blue's a nice color. My motorcycle's blue, and Palm Nation is in blue. All right, and we got blue sky out there too. I'm going to turn this thing around so you can see what it looks like outside. It's very sunny. See, it's just absolutely beautiful out there. You can't really see out the window because of the crappy little camera on this PC here. Okay, Palms USA, thank you. Yes, and you see the wrench too. Okay, sweet, cool. Let's just see. I can see. Okay, Richard can see it. And there is. Okay, one path. Got a heated discussion going on here. I like watching heated discussions. Speaking of California, there's a community called. Really? I know the beer, but I don't really drink it that much. You know what I mean? I'm not really a big beer drinker. Only in the summertime. You've seen me on some of my live streams when it's a really warm day. I don't mind a cold beer, but it's pretty rare for me to drink it in the winter months when it's cold. I think I'd rather have a tea or a hot chocolate or something. And I don't even mean to drink a lot of hot chocolate. I'm more of a teetotaler type guy. That's what I am. I drink more tea than I do beer. In Hawaii, we drink a little bit more beer because it's so warm there. And it's nice to come back from the beach, and then you can sit out on the lanai and you can listen to the birds or watch the birds and the palm trees blowing in the trade winds. And you can have a nice cold Kona beer. That's Wendy's favorite beer, Kona beer or Maui Brewing. I buy the cheap stuff. I buy Pabs because you get a whole bunch of it, and it's like drinking water, and it's good enough for me. I don't drink beer to get wasted. I just kind of drink it to quench my thirst, even though it's not the greatest thirst quencher. But a cold beer on a hot day does taste good when you're in Hawaii. And it certainly doesn't taste good to me on a cool Canadian winter day. Let's just see. This coconut in Newport, sadly, let's just see. What do we have here? That is awesome. Oh, thanks, Tim. Yeah. Gerard Puri was a master at growing palm trees. He's got massive tree ferns in his garden, too. He's the guy that grew the bananas, Tim, that were 34 feet tall. He's the guy I got my first banana plant from in the 1980s, okay? And his bananas, the first time I ever saw them, were 34 feet tall. I have photos of them, too, no lie. Let's just see. What do we have here? I'm planning a Sable Mexicana trip. Tim Johnson, I'm planning a Sable Mexicana next year. Oh, nice. That will be good. That's a beautiful palm. I had some of those, I may even have one here. I forget, I lose track of what sables I have in the ground here, but I had some in pots when I lived on the mainland and they froze in our barn. They were in pots, got into a deep freeze, got down to single digits and they froze one night, unfortunately, and I pretty much cried. Roses can survive freezing, Jane, if they are in their own root. So, Jane, they're hardier. Cool. Corpus Christi, Texas has coconut. Yeah, there are coconut palms in Corpus Christi, Texas. Tim Johnson, sweet. I've got a bunch of Dallas flifera. I bought a cold hardy palm and Sam Rogers banana. Is there anything special about these since they'll be outside for the winter? What is your growing zone again, Sam? If you're in zone 8B, you want to protect your bananas. If they're mustabaju, you can wrap the trunks with bubble wrap. If it's a hardy palm, it's probably going to be just fine. My sable miners are from the Dallas ecotype. Oh, cool. Yes, there are some in Dallas. There are nice sable miner growing in Dallas. Corpus Christi is pretty mild down there, and they're very subject to nasty hurricanes. There's been some really nasty hurricanes in Corpus Christi over the years. And yeah, I'd like to see it down there. Like I said, my oldest son lived down in Weslaco, Texas, and he got married down there. I've told you that story many times. I don't want to bore you to death, but he would not live stream. He would Skype. We would Skype together. And a lot of times he'd go to this mall and he'd sit out in the car and he would Skype. And because he did it because I like the palm trees, and there'd be a lot of palm trees at this mall. There are Washingtonia, Robusta. What else was there? There were sables. There was a whole bunch of different palm trees there. It was just awesome. There was Livistona there too. Weslaco is southern Texas, near the Mexican border, west of Brownsville, the Gulf of Mexico. Palm tree dude, didn't you say you've been to Dallas? I've been to at the airport. I have been to Fort Worth, Dallas airport. Okay. So I never really stepped out of the airport. I was en route to Miami, Florida. So I never stepped foot in Dallas, but I was at the airport. I was there for about an hour or so, maybe 2 hours. I don't know, something like that. There are coconut palms that grew in Phoenix. There are coconut, but they have to. Oh, they do actually grow them there, Tim. That is really interesting. Okay. I've never seen a coconut palm there, but I totally believe you. And now I got to Google that. Hey, you know what I'm going to do? In my group, people who love palm trees and exotic plants, I'm going to do a post and I'm going to say, is there anybody out there that can post pictures of some coconut palms in Arizona? I'd like to see some. That'd be cool. Coconut Newport dies. Yeah, it died. It did die several years ago, unfortunately. And it was there for a long time, planted in 1984. Long time ago. 1984, 36 years ago, just about 37 years ago. I can send you a whole bunch of hidden coconuts on Messenger. Cool. Yeah, do it, please. On Facebook, do it. It died. That's sad. It's probably needed more irrigation at Newport Beach because I think it gets pretty dry there in the summertime. And, that's the problem here being on Salt Spring Island where we are. And I'm not saying all of Salt Spring Island. There's some great soil pockets on Salt Spring Island, some big farms on Salt Spring Island. There's a 200-acre farm just out of my driveway here. Go down our driveway and there's North End Farm and it's a couple hundred acres of amazing soil, forest, it's right on the ocean. They grow everything. Year round, you can go to that farm stand and buy stuff. But here we live up on the ridge, we're up on the rock here. So it dries out really fast, unfortunately, and puts a lot of plants in jeopardy if you're not there to water them in the summer. Sam Rogers, I'm in 7A, get some frost, Delta County, Colorado. I would protect them well. If they're sable mine or needle palm, you're probably okay in a sheltered spot. I would say Trachycarpus. If it gets cold, really cold, you want to wrap it up for the duration of the cold. Musabaju, you could try wrapping with bubble plastic. It might work the trunks. Watch my protection plan. Go to Musabaju or winter protection for bananas on this channel, and you'll see how I protect them here. Palms, yes, I hope to move to Los Angeles and start a massive palm garden there. That'd be cool. Awesome. Good climate in Los Angeles. Can coconut palms grow? Well, somebody said they do grow their palm tree, dude. I've never seen them, but Tim said they do grow. There's people that experiment with them. Don't know about Azores. Oh, Azores. Sorry, I thought you said Arizona. Azores. Isn't that in Spain? Oh, Madeira Island. Yeah. That's off of Portugal. Go to Palm Talk. There are infertile coconuts all over. Yeah, there's lots of coconut palms in Bermuda. Definitely. There are many photos of big cocos in it. Wow, that's cool. That is really cool, palms. Palm tree dude. All right, I've seen the palm post. Palm tree dude. It's amazing where palms will grow, right? And some places you think, no, palms will never, ever grow there, but they still do. And it's like here, there are people that would never believe that palm trees will grow anywhere in Canada. Well, folks, I am in Canada and I do grow palm trees, and there's lots of palm trees here on the coast. And so they do grow in certain areas of Canada. More deer in the Azores. Yeah, Madeira Island. I've had seeds brought to me from Madeira Island because I knew a lady, Portuguese. He was from the mainland, Lisbon, and she was from Madeira Island. And she brought back some eucalyptus trees here for me once, seeds, but they died. They weren't that hardy. 7A, they did get some frost. Yeah, well, it's expected. But I mean, you can always chop back the bananas or just cover them up with straw or leaves or something like that. Wonder if there's any mainland on mainland Europe. I wonder if there's any in Sicily. Probably not. Sicily, off of southern Italy, I wonder. Highest point to Salt Spring Island is 2,300 and something feet. I think it's Mount Bruce, Hope Hill, Mount Tuam on the south end, and it would be Zone 8A. It's probably Zone 8A up there. There's a Buddhist monastery up on Mount Tuam. I want to bring up some palm trees. Palms, I hear someone are trying south of Spain and Cyprus. That is cool. Yes, I'm thinking up on the top of the mountains. It's got to be 8A. So this weekend, if everything's okay and I feel better, I'm going to go into Zone 8A and I'm going to harvest palm seeds, okay? Which reminds me, I got to message that gal. There's a 20-foot palm in there with seeds on it. I dusted it in the spring, so I got to go get the seeds off of it. Southern Spain and Greece and Sicily, probably the only potential. Yeah, but they do get cold once in a while too, palm tree dude. Once in a blue moon. My aunt lives in Portugal and she lives massive palms in the yard. Cool. Right on. Well, my relatives live in southern Italy in Reggio Calabria, a little town called Ardori on the tip of the boot. So there's Sicily and there's Ardori, Reggio Calabria. So there's the only thing what's not connecting them is that little strip of water there. So they can look over at Sicily. So where they live, it's a lot of palm trees. And my family's lived in that area for hundreds of years. And my nono grew up on a 160 acre olive plantation. So he's long gone dead. And my nana's long gone dead. But the only surviving person here in Canada, the oldest one, is my dad's oldest sister. She's 98 years old, my Auntie Mary. Lives in Vancouver by herself, and she moved here when she was about 12 years old. She moved to Vancouver from southern Italy, and I still have relatives there. I still have relatives in southern Italy. Lots of palm trees in Rome, and date palms everywhere. Even in northern Italy, you're still going to see palm trees. Yeah, palm. My aunt lives in Portugal. That's cool that your aunt's over in Portugal. I've never been to Europe yet. Southern Spain coast, 11B. Yeah, I bet you if you go to Mallorca, palms. You go to the islands of Mallorca, there's probably lots of palm trees in Mallorca. A lot of people in England and stuff go to Mallorca for holidays. Problem is the lack of lackluster heat in the winter. Yeah, for cocoa palms. Yeah, you're right. They like a lot of heat and they like warm soil. Canary Islands have actually native palms. They have Phoenix canariensis there. Spain can get crazy hot too. It can, I heard. Wendy's sister went there a few years ago. She went to Spain. She's got friends that live there. She stayed there for a few weeks and really liked it. So me, I've never been to Europe. I've been into the Caribbean. I've been to Mexico. I've been around the States, been to Alaska. I've been to Hawaii. Lots of times I've been to Hawaii, and I've never really been anywhere in Canada. Just a couple of times, different times over to Edmonton, Alberta in the summer. Mallorca is part of Barcelona in the winter. Okay, that's interesting, Palms. Jason, do you introduce your hybrid windmill to cold temperatures to hard? No, not here because we don't have cold temperatures to introduce them to. My hybrid palms stay out year round here in the nursery, and I have some in an unheated greenhouse too. So it's whatever old man winter dishes out here, that's what they can handle, and I'm sure they can handle more. Above 2,000 foot in Hawaii, Gene says coconut palms won't survive. You're right, because when I was up at higher elevations, upcountry Maui, you don't see any more coconut palms. We're at 3,000 something feet. There's no coconut palms up there. Palms USA, northernmost native palms in the world are Camarops in southern France. That is cool. So they do grow in southern France native. That is really interesting to know. Dr. Eugene Zampara has a trunk palmetto growing in Connecticut on the... Cool. Tim, that's good. I'm going to have to check that out. Thank you for the information. So check that out, guys. Dr. Eugene has on his channel. I wonder if he has it protected. I mean, because it can get pretty cold in Connecticut. The Canary Islands are pretty warm, but they're outside out. Yeah, that's right, too. I have to meet up with friends in Miami across the Gulf Stream. Miami, yeah, I haven't been there for a long time. February 96, I was in Miami. I stayed at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. A lot of palm trees in Miami. I wasn't too impressed with Miami when I landed there because it was cold and it was wet. It was about 56 degrees when I landed there in February. I go, this is Miami. I left this kind of weather back home, and it was cool, wet, but the next day was palmy and balmy. And I walked around and I saw lots of nice palm trees in Miami. I have a passport. I got a passport because I go to Hawaii, so I need a passport. And we will be going in less than a year from now. I'm already planning my trip. Our condo's already been booked for this year because we're supposed to be there, and our rent-a-car was already booked, and our flights are already paid for. So next year I will be back on Maui, and I will be live. I'm hopefully live streaming from Maui, which would be kind of cool. Lots of coconut palms in Miami. I better you could have a baby coconut at 2,000. I bet you could. I wonder. Baby coconut at 2,000 foot, right at the 2,000 foot level. I know, palm tree dude. I know you, Alma Manager. I was talking about you, Bigfoot. Did you get a refund? No, they gave us a credit, Jane. So our credit is good till September 2022, and we can use our tickets till September. We got till September 2022 to use our airfare to Hawaii, and we're flying Air Canada this time. Last time we flew WestJet, then before that we flew Air Canada. We usually fly WestJet, and we fly directly into Kahului Airport from Vancouver. It's kind of a milk run to get to Hawaii from here, though, because we live on an island. So we island hop, all right? So first of all, we got to get off of Salt Spring, and then we got to take a ferry across to Victoria, and we leave from Victoria Airport, which is on Vancouver Island. Then we fly to Sea Island. That's where Vancouver Airport is. A lot of people don't know that. Vancouver International Airport is actually on an island, a small island called Sea Island. So then we fly to Sea Island, and then we fly to Maui from there. So we go from Salt Spring Island to Vancouver Island to Sea Island to Maui in the Hawaiian Islands. We hit 4 islands, man. We island hop. Absolutely planet. Have you heard about Phoenix? Yes. Yep. I know where it's from, and it's native to Crete and also Turkey, and it's definitely not hardy here on the Pacific coast of Canada, because a friend of mine tried one about 30 years ago, and I remember being over at his place and seeing it, and it died the first winter. First bad cold snap, it actually died. So not good for this area. With protection, maybe. A friend living at the same latitude as Mexico, 1,800 meter. I'd like to live at a higher elevation in Hawaii. I think it's kind of cool up there, Palms. I like up country. I absolutely love up country in Hawaii. I don't necessarily need to live by the ocean in Hawaii. If I lived there, I would think I'd live up country, and then I could grow some more diverse plant species. And I would try to grow Trachycarpus palms up there too. I've never seen a Trachycarpus palm tree in Hawaii in all the times I've been, and I've been there about 27 times now to the Hawaiian Islands, and never seen a Trachycarpus palm. I'm sure they must exist somewhere, but I haven't seen them yet. And I got a good eye for palm trees. Tropical Phoenix hate wet. Yeah. You know what, though? Tropical PDX, I don't know. I think wet and cold. So because if you go to Brookings and Gold Beach, there's massive Phoenix canariensis there, and they are about 80 to 85 inches of rain annually, but it never gets that cold. That's the trick, I think. And there's some big ones in London, too, mature ones. They're Trachycarpus in Hawaii, just rare. Wow. I've never seen them. Never, ever seen them there. I got to keep my eyes open for them. Even at the Botanical Gardens at Lion Arboretum, my favorite place, don't see them. Palms, so 2,000 foot I see no problem with, unless Hawaii is very strange weather dynamic. Cocos will not grow there. I've never seen them up high, though. Palms I've never seen. And I point that out to Wendy when we're driving around. Say, notice there's like this line where coconut palms stop. It's like here, there's a line where the big leaf maple trees stop. You get up into a certain elevation, there's no more big leaf maple trees. They just stop. It's really interesting, eh? Guy I work with lives at that line. There's no maple trees where he lives. Down here, there's lots of them. Wet minters I met. Yes, just plant them in the shade. I think they will do fine in the same elevation. Palms. Do you think a Kencha could? Nah. I'll tell you what, I have 2 Kencha palms, and I've had them out. In all the years I've had them since 1997, I had them gifted to me. I had them out 2 winters and all that time beside the house. But the low temperature, the one winter was like minus 1.2. That was it for the winter. And then the next winter was maybe minus 1.4 degrees Celsius. And that was it. And they were fine. And they actually did get some snow on them too, but they didn't freeze. You have to check also forest in Crete also. That's cool. I've seen Phoenix do well in tropical wet climates. Yeah. Phoenix robelinii is actually native to Laos and Cambodia, I think, down there. So that's tropical rainforest. You have to check Prevail Palm Forest, Absolute Palm. I'll have to check that out. Sounds pretty cool. Never heard of that. That's really cool. A palm forest in Crete. Yeah, Jane, they are native to the tropics, Phoenix robelinii. I've grown a lot of those in the past, but they're not hardy here. They're a house plant, and I put them outside and the frost kills them. Yeah, Majesty died. No Majesties left here. Palms are done. Ravinia rivularis. I had it in the unheated tiki hut, and they eventually succumbed to cold. So no more Ravinia palms for me. You go to Home Depot, and they sell those things a dime a dozen. And you really got to look after a Majesty palm because they are finicky inside, very susceptible to spider mites in the dry air. That was a double one that turned. Yeah, that's right, palms. You're good. You're watching those videos. And I tell you what, our Kencha palms are growing strong after all these years. Dipsis decipiens. That's a nice hardy palm. Well, you know what? I have a friend in Seattle that's got a big Parajubea cocoides in his garden. His Brahia edulis finally packed it in after 20 years. So he planted a Parajubea beside his house, and it's still going strong. Do you ever, Palms, you wake up and realize that you're in Hawaii and think, wow, this is epic? I would do that too. I love Hawaii. I got good friends here that moved to Hawaii. They're living there. I see his photos all the time on my Facebook. He lived on Salt Spring for 35 years. Now they're in Kauai. And she's Canadian. He was American with dual citizenship. So she works at Tommy Bahamas, and he works at the Botanical Garden. He was a gardener here. I've even seen that growing in hot, humid, wet climate. That's interesting. Cool. Jane's done some traveling. You might be able to try, but you are uncommon and expensive. Yes, they are very expensive. He is zone 7, which favors Margie hardy, sable planter. Interesting. Yeah, Dactylifera is a hardy date palm, and I don't think I've seen it growing in Hawaii. I see a lot of Sylvestris there, and the only place I've really seen a lot of those is down in California. I've never been to Arizona, but I've seen lots of date palms. We're staying in Anaheim, and in front of the hotel where we stayed, the street was lined with Dactylifera, but I didn't like the way they pruned them. They really pruned them ugly. They weren't very nice. Really pencil pruned them. It was terrible. Last time I was down in Southern California, we took the kids down to Disneyland. We stayed down there a week, and we were down in Anaheim. It was August 2008, and it was hot down there. I've seen Phoenix sylvestris growing in Thailand. Cool. I like Phoenix sylvestris. It's really cool. I'm going to have to do another video of my Phoenix palms, and then maybe Jane can do a better identification. I think she seems to think they might be a hybrid, or maybe with sylvestris. I did get the seed in Hawaii. I have had a regular date palm growing outside, but put a few dozen. Oh, that's cool, Tropical PDX. There's one growing in Tofino at Brian's place that never gets protected, and it's starting to put on some good size. And then there's a big one at Brian's place southeast of Vancouver, and it's massive. It's a massive palm, but he does give it some help when it gets really ugly out. I have a lot of date palms here in pots, some big ones, and I have one outside still in a pot. The other one's in an unheated greenhouse. We got 3 or 4 in there. Got a small one in the ground. I put a bucket over top of it. And then we have, like I say, the other ones that are in the tiki hut right now. I think I've seen Dactylifera at the Oahu Urban Garden Center. Oh, cool, Jane. That's awesome. Fresh dates are nice. I love them. Palms in Tofino. Yeah, the Phoenix canariensis at Brian's place is awesome. He's also got unprotected, no winter protection, is the Brahia edulis. If you can grow a cordyline to maturity, like I'm talking a big cordyline, you should be able to get away with Phoenix, because I mean it's pretty close. I think the cordyline is a little bit hardier, but pretty close. Do you have a Missouri palm? No, I've grown them before. I tried one back in the late 1980s. I imported from California and it died, but I was in a different growing zone, so I should try some here. I did grow a bunch from seed, and I sold them though years ago. Got the seed from Rare Palm Seeds in Europe. Dactylifera clumps and stuff. That's right. And there's a lot of Dactylifera, not Dactylifera sylvestris, I think, growing at the far end of the Alawai Canal and sporadically along the Alawai Canal in Waikiki. I want to see. Yeah, palms in North Australia would be cool. I moved to Washington for live under the eaves now. Let's Richard Power. Great video, Joe. As always, I'm going to go. Yeah, have a good one there. Stay safe out there, Richard, and thanks for tuning in. And I'll say bye to Wendy when she gets. She's out gardening. She came home with a load of plants apparently, so she's planting the plants. I'll go to 2 hours. We'll make it a 2-hour live stream, and then I'll call her quits. And then I'm just going to go maybe rest a little bit, or maybe I'll turn back on the radio and see where I can talk to. North Australia is a great palms because tropical. Yeah, well, there's Livistona australis is pretty hardy. See you, Richard. Take care, buddy. Thanks for dropping in there. Richard Powers, another local here to the board, and commenting. That's great. Missouri do well in Texas, but they hate cold, wet combo. Yeah, that's the thing. Hardy, but dry climate. Okay, Richard, take care. See you later, bud. Have a great day or night, and we will do the same here on Salt Spring Island. Is Kencha more hardy than Majesty? I'm thinking. I'm thinking it is. I love Kencha palms, man. They're very expensive, and you don't often see them in the garden center. Tim Johnson, I'm sorry, spelled the name wrong. Dr. Eugene Zampiron has the sable matter with the trunk. Check out his channel. Yes, that is cool. Okay. I got to write this down. Let me get my glasses on, Tim. We're going to check this out. So that's his name, eh? Dr. Eugene. And is that his channel? Eugene Zamp. Okay, we'll check that out. We got it written down. They're selling a big Kenchi here for yeah, that's about right. I mean, I don't know how big it is. Ours are really big. And there's 2 of them in the pot. Bridgeport, Connecticut. Cool. Have you ever checked out? No, I've never seen that. Have you ever checked out Crime Pays, but Botany doesn't? No, I haven't. Sounds funny though. So New Jersey palms, is that the one you're thinking of? Is that the one you're seeing there? A big palmetto? Does he protect it in the winter? I'm wondering if it does get winter protection. Write that channel down. Great many plants. Okay. Crime Pays, Botany doesn't. Crime Pays, Botany doesn't. Okay, we'll check that out too. I like to check out other people's channels too. Let's just see. Yorkshire Chris has a great YouTube channel as well. There's so many YouTube channels out there. There must be millions of them. That's cool. It's nice to see mature palm gardens and mature exotic gardens. You know what I mean? And it's fun to see things just planted, but it really interests me more when I can walk into a mature garden like friend Jeff in Victoria. He's got a mature palm tree garden. He's got dozens. I said, how many palms do you have here, Jeff? He says about 60. And his waggies are all about 20 feet of trunk. He's got mature flowering sable bermudana. He's got sable brahia or brahia armata, brahia edulis, three huge jubaeas, huge 20-foot tall nova palms, fortunae, you name it, and he's got it growing there. He's got mature Chamadoria microspadex and others. It's pretty cool. He did a video on jubea too. Oh, cool. Nice. Check it out, palm tree dude. Yeah, they're a palmetto in Bridgeport against the school facing New Jersey. They are as post. I think the wraps burlap. No heat. Oh, that's cool. So they do make it there. That's awesome. So that's where Bridgeport is. It's in Connecticut. Yorkshire Chris has a nice jubea. Okay, I'm going to check out Yorkshire Chris too. Oh, he's in England. You know what? I might have seen his channel, and I might have commented on his stuff. I'd have to look. That rings a bell. Yorkshire Chris. I look at a lot of UK. A lot of UK videos on there of palms and exotica has been getting more pinnacle. Wow, cool. Nice. Not sure if I heard that theirs are as islands cold as it gets. 57? No, that's mild there, man. You grow coconut palms there. You can grow coconut palms in the Azores. Not sure. Coldest it gets in winter. We have lots of palms. So he lives there. You live there, 77. Awesome. Good to have you in there. What happens when you plant palms way too close? No, they'll still grow. I mean, they still grow. It takes them a little longer sometimes, but I have palms. I got 7 or 8 Phoenix growing in one pot, and they're growing fine together, but I got to put them in a bigger pot now. 57 lipstick safe. 57, that's mild, man. That's like Hawaii, dude. Yeah, What? Thanks, Absolute Palm Lover. We love you out there. No, I'm going to be done real soon. In 1 minute, I'm going to get out of here. I think we're good. Okay. What's that? Do I give him the money now? Okay, I owe Wendy some money. Wendy, that's when you're married, guys, you got to give your wife money. You got to give your wife some money. So let's give her some funny money here. And she's not buying plants with it. So have you ever seen Canadian money? That's what Canadian money looks like. So, oh man, I got to give her $340. I hope she's buying a Jubea with that. Okay, come and get it. Okay, hang on, guys. I got to go give her some money. Thanks, Absolute Palms. You're a nice person. I appreciate the compliment there. But there are a lot of palm channels out there. Problem with the Azores, they get... Okay, hang on. Here you go. Where are you? Okay, close that door. Here you go. Do the lights. Coming, guys. I wasn't expecting that. You know when you don't expect to fork out a $340? I'm getting some big trees cut this month, and for firewood, but it's not going to be ready till next year. So the neighbor, just a ways down, got a load of firewood, and I looked at that load of firewood. So that's a nice load of firewood. So I got a load of firewood delivered yesterday, and the guy down the road, whatever, is getting another load of firewood. So Wendy says we should get another load of firewood. So no, it wasn't palm money. I just gave her firewood money. So I just forked out $340 for a whack load more of wood. The last thing you ever want to do when you're living here is running out of firewood. So we heat our house with wood, right? So now we're going to have a ton of wood, a ton of wood. And I'm still going to get those trees down, and I got to split them. I got to buck them up with the chainsaw and split them. So we're going to have a mountain of firewood. So that was Hawaii money I just gave her. That could have been Jubea money, but that was actually Hawaii money. I have Hawaii money tucked away for the trip. So now I'm 300. So just a minute. I just forked out yesterday $350, today $340. That's $690 I just forked out on firewood in 2 days. I hope Wendy is buying deciduous. No, Wendy will not buy deciduous plants. Wendy loves exotic plants. So she bought all exotic plants today. Pittosporum, I think some New Zealand flax, bought variegated too, or not New Zealand, Formium tenax, and then she bought some variegated pittosporums today. Is palms good firewood? I've never burnt palm before. I don't think I burnt palm before. Let's just see. Larger Kensha money went bye-bye. Yeah. That would have bought me a nice palm tree right there, $340, right? But no, it's getting me a truckload of wood. So anyway, it's less wood I have to split right now. See, I split a lot of wood this winter, but because we're here for an extra month, we're burning more wood. We're usually in Hawaii for just over a month. So that's one less month of wood we're not burning. But now we're here, so we've burnt an extra month worth of wood. And I looked at our wood pile and I go, I do not want to run out. I do not want to run out of wood. So anyway, another load of wood is coming. And that's how fast money goes, folks, just like that. His name and his channel. You have a lot of big trees on your property. Use them for fire and free up more. Yeah, we have tons of trees here. We have acreage full of trees, and every year or two we get more trees cut down. We're not going to get them all cut down, but we selectively cut them down. We do get a lot of sunshine in here, but we're getting more sunshine now that Wendy's come into the picture. See, we got some trees cut down when I was with my ex-wife, but Wendy likes even more sunshine, so she's getting more trees nuked. And I'm talking, these are big trees. They're 120 feet tall, and you can't wrap your arms around them. So that's a lot of wood splitting for me. And you know what? I don't mind wood splitting. Wood splitting is actually awesome. It's good exercise, really good exercise. And try it sometime. It's like going to the gym. And the wood heat is so nice. I don't know how you guys heat your homes. We have an airtight Pacific Energy wood stove here, and it's just the nicest heat. You load that baby up in the morning, and it's warm. I just took a chunk. I threw a chunk of wood in there right now. We also burn arbutus. I have a lot of arbutus I've been burning too. It's super hot burning wood, arbutus. That's Pacific Madrona. Gas. Yeah, there's no natural gas here on Salt Spring Island. We had it on the mainland, but none here on Salt Spring Island. Wood splitting is a lot of work. So I split 3 cords of wood, I think just about 3 cords of wood this year. So a lot of wood. And I cut down a lot of the trees myself. But the big trees, what we're going to get cut, I'm going to get an expert in, because otherwise I'll drop them on our house, and that wouldn't be very good. Have you grown pitch pines? They make no pitch pines here. We grow the only pine trees native to our island are shore pine, and they grow up in the mountains, the very high mountains. Before, when I lived in the sticks, my brother-in-law installed geothermal is cool. A lot of people here have heat exchange too. Heat exchange. There's oil, and there's I can't see natural gas like propane. So you have a tank beside your house. So there's no piped natural gas here on Salt Spring Island. It'd be pretty difficult to do being on the island. I mean, I don't know where they'd run the gas pipe from. Let's see. What do we have here? Tim Johnson, it's amazing the size of this palm being palmetto up for an artist on Long Island Sound. That is cool. I got to check that out, man. And if I just punch in sable palmetto in Connecticut, would that come up on YouTube or not? Geothermal is far more efficient, minimal monthly cost, high. Yeah, that's cool. It's high up front. It's kind of like solar panels, tropical PDX. Whenever I'm in Hawaii, they're always putting up more solar panels where we stay. So lots of solar panels in Hawaii, and they get a lot of sun there. And there's also wind turbine power too. Are there barriers on the Arbutus? No. Berries? Oh yeah, lots of berries. They're all over the ground, Uriel. They're everywhere, and they're just mushy. Birds eat them. Like, I can't reach the trees, the berries, because the arbutus trees are literally 100 feet tall. We have massive arbutus trees on our property, but they make a mess. Like, there's berries all over the place, and a lot of them turn to mush too when they hit the ground. There's plenty of strawberry, guava, bad. Oh yeah, I've picked it wild up in Lion Arboretum, Jane. And I've also picked it growing wild when I went ziplining up in Haiku on Maui. There was trees full of guava, and it was good. I love it. I love the taste of guava. I like to put it in the fridge, and I eat it in the morning for breakfast. Toby Joss, just a little Texas bragging. Texas leads USA in wind. Cool. You know what? They're smart in the Lone Star State. And we don't get enough wind here to have wind power. Honestly, it's funny. You think being on an island, but our islands are so sheltered, it wouldn't be efficient for us. So there's a lot of people that have solar power here, but like I say, mostly wood heat on our island. But there is electric heat, which is a ripoff. We have electric heat in our house, but I never turn them on. Tropical PDX, arbutus trees grow faster than, they grow really fast here. You should see the ones I grew from seed a few decades ago. They're over 30 feet tall easily. Why is BC part of the Pacific Northwest when it's called, I call it the North Pacific. It is, I don't know, Northwest is, to me, is, I don't really call it Pacific Northwest. I call it the North Pacific. It's Pacific Northwest is Oregon, Washington, and Oregon, Washington. That's what the North Pacific is to me. Maybe even Northern California, but maybe not. Oregon and Washington is Pacific Northwest, and we're in the North Pacific because we're in the southwestern coast of BC. Euro, but it's all the same climate. Euro, nice. Okay, I collected berries a little more than a month ago. I'm going, yeah, they grow easy from seed. Canadian money is huge. I don't like it. It's plastic. I do not like the Canadian money now. I like the old school paper money. Do you think that arbutus tree would grow here? You could give it a try. They need exact requirements. They don't like extreme heat, extreme cold, and they need a fast draining soil, and they don't like root disturbance. Jane, strawberry guava doesn't belong in our forest. Yeah, they're bad. It's like English ivy here, Jane. It is a very bad, noxious weed, but the fruit sure is yummy. I like the name North Pacific. I always call, a lot of times when I'm talking to my radio too, I say Southern Gulf Islands or our island an island in the North Pacific. So Hawaii is the Central Pacific, and we are in the North Pacific. Okay, we have the North Pacific current off this area too, right? The North Pacific current keeps our winters mild here in this part of the world. Claire and Kerrigan, do Trachycarpus palms grow taller faster when they're in shade? No, they'll grow fast in shade too, providing they're in good soil and they have an abundance of irrigation in the dry months. I have palm trees growing in the shade, but in better soil, they're going to grow a lot faster, and they do take on a different appearance, Ciaran, because they're stretching for the light, so you're going to get longer petioles, like leggy looking. Arbutus Unito can grow most of, yeah. And Toby Josh, they're all over here. Big ones. I just picked some fruit off ours yesterday that fell on the ground. We have 20-something footers behind our house. And then we have more on the other side of the property as well. Arbutus Unito compacta from Ireland and Southern Europe. Toby Josh, Arbutus excellent. I don't even know how to say that one, but I know the word. I've seen it lots. Lapensis, Exlapensis, whatever you call it. Handle your conditions. I think it would work. It definitely work here. I heat my home with wood. Good for you, Tim. Heats with wood. What is your favorite Canadian province? Mine? Right here where I live. I was born and raised here, so I couldn't live anywhere else in Canada because I can't grow palm trees there. So if I can't grow palm trees there, then I can't live there. That's what I even said to my ex-wife too. Thanks. I never knew about that species. I have Trachycarpus in full sun in the best soil. Well, I tell you what, Tropical PDX, you saw my video of the one in my friend's garden that's grown 30 feet tall since 2001, and it was one of my seedlings in 2001. I like British Columbia just because of all the different growing zones, the size, and we have 2 different time zones in BC, and it's very mountainous. We have desert. We have every climatic zone here in BC. We have temperate. We have Mediterranean. We have mountains. We have true desert in BC. There's true desert with rattlesnakes, sagebrush, and cactus. And then there's almost like Arctic when you go in the north. I mean, BC's 2.5 times bigger than Texas. Okay, it's a big province. People don't realize how big it is. But the far north is too cold for me. That's why I got to live here. I was born in Vancouver, and I lived near the ocean my entire life. And I have to be near the ocean. I have to be where I can garden outside year round, and I have to be able to see palm trees year round. If I don't see palm trees year round, I'm going to be really a sad, unhappy person. You know what I mean? When I look out this window here, it's palm trees and eucalyptus. I'm seeing big arbutus trees. I just see green. I just see green out that window. Matter of fact, I should probably unplug this. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to unplug this live stream here. I'm going to unplug it here, and I'm going to show you out the window. I'm going to show you what I'm looking at. Okay, so can you see that? That's what I'm looking at out the window. Right there. That's what I look at year round. You can see my antennas out there. It's just green. I see big palm trees in the distance there. There's a big Trachy Winson. And then you see all the trees, the Fatsia trees blooming. And then way over there, you can see some eucalyptus. It's like that year round when we look out the window. It's nice and green. So I'll plug that back in. Hopefully you got a little glimpse of that, folks. Plug this back in here. Hopefully Wendy's not going to come up and ask for any more money. I have a feeling she is. Yeah, so it's always green like that. The whole property, the whole island is really green because it is an evergreen island. And even the understory plants, they're evergreen. So you can go for a hike on a winter day and it's nice and green. But when I lived in Ontario, it took the same amount of time to drive to Florida as it does to Manitoba. Ontario is so big, it takes about 3 days, I think, to get through Ontario. Doesn't it? 2 or 3 days? It's massive. Canada's big, but the problem is with Canada, most people live near the border because the rest of Canada is way too cold for me, man. You know what I mean? I don't want to live anywhere else in Canada because the winters are too cold, and I don't like cold. When I was younger, most Americans don't realize how, it is really big, Tropical PDX. As I get older, I dislike cold even more. And I used to be an avid skier, and I used to just couldn't wait for the ski season, but I still like palm trees, but I loved the snow in the winter to go skiing. So I drive up to Whistler when I lived on the mainland, and now I don't care if I ever see a ski hill again. I'd like to be in a state that's landlocked. It's the same distance from the beach as I am now. Landlocked. Oh, okay. Interesting. Landlocked. Well, if you want to go a state landlocked, Nebraska is landlocked. So for those of you that don't know what landlocked is, it's a place that's in from the ocean. There's no way to get to the ocean from unless you're going to drive many, many, many hundreds of miles. So Nebraska's in the center of the U.S. somewhere. Colorado, those are landlocked. Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Ontario's landlocked. It has lakes, but it's still landlocked. But believe it or not, Quebec is not landlocked. Gaspé, again, Gaspé is actually the Atlantic Ocean touches that part of Quebec, so it's not landlocked. Isn't that bizarre? It's pretty cool. Yeah, Canada's huge, I was going to say, but the problem is with Canada, most people live along the border, right? Because they don't want to live in the north; it's too cold. Unless you like cold weather, and I don't. At 56, I can live without it. That's why I go to Hawaii for holidays. Okay, we like the warmth. When I lived in Ontario, it same. Okay, I read that, and wow, there's a lot of people still in there. Is no Ontario? It's not landlocked. I thought it was landlocked. So does Ontario actually touch the ocean? Because I don't count lakes as ocean, right? I still consider that landlocked if there's a lake. Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought not being landlocked, you have to border the ocean. So does the ocean actually touch Hudson's Bay? Ah, right. You're right. That's same with Manitoba. Damn, you know what? You're right, Tropical PDX. It does touch the Hudson's Bay. I totally forgot about that, and so does Manitoba. And it's really cold up there, and there's polar bears. Yes, you punch in sable, palmetto, and kinetic, you will find a shell. Okay, thanks, Tim. I'm going to do it, buddy. I'm going to do it. You should be able to grow a few good cold hardy palms in Chesterfield, Virginia. I bet you. Oh, yeah. And Virginia gets that heat, too. Never mind the St. Lawrence River. Yeah, the St. Lawrence River, though, but that's, I don't know. I mean, that comes in from the ocean, right? But it's not salt water, is it? Chesterfield is nice and great. Yeah, it'd be a nice place to see. Wrong, Joe. Borders the ocean. You're talking about Ontario. Ontario does border the ocean. I got to get a map out and check that. See, I never thought Ontario bordered the ocean. That's right, though. It does border the Hudson's Bay. But does it border the Atlantic Ocean? Huh. Yeah, it's nice and green, swampy. Interesting. Palm tree dude. Yes, it's nice and green, swampy in some areas. A friend of mine lived in county zone 7B. That's cool. If you think American states are small, Ireland's probably. Yeah, I'm thinking Vancouver Island is probably just about as big as Ireland. Vancouver Island's massive, Mr. Kerrigan. It is, like I said, it's a 7-hour drive to drive from the south end, Victoria, to Port Hardy to the north end. You can Google the distance of Vancouver Island on a map, the length of Vancouver Island. It's very wide, too. I think it's like 100 miles wide, something like that. So now I'm going to actually have to bring up a map of Ontario when I'm done this live stream and take a really good look at that map of Ontario, or 5 to 6. So it's a pretty good drive. I drove Cork to Derry, about 5 to 6 hours. Yeah, Wendy's driven all around Ireland too. Her and her ex cruised all around Ireland. Irish, he's Irish. She's Irish Scottish. Let's just see. Palms. I was saying pretty good, but it compared to Ireland, states are quite large. Yeah, and it depends what states too, right? Palms USA. So Rhode Island, Delaware, Maryland. Those are pretty small states. And then you get up into the New England, like New Jersey, New Hampshire. That's a pretty small state. Vermont, they're not super big, but I think Rhode Island is a very small state. How DC? Do you class District of Columbia as a state, or is it just a district? Like, I think they have their own license plates there, don't they? In District of Columbia, it's right beside. Isn't it right beside Maryland? Somewhere over there. Interesting. I'd like to go to the southeastern states sometime and see North Carolina and South Carolina. DC isn't a state. Okay, so DC is a District of Columbia, but they do have their own license plates, correct? That's where I got to get a license plate from. I'm pretty sure they have license plates in District of Columbia. Hudson's Bay is connected with the Atlantic Ocean, Hudson Strait on the North and Arctic Ocean. Wow. Okay, cool. Okay, so it is not landlocked. Okay, right on. Thanks for clearing that up. Thanks, Tropical PDX. You're a fountain of information, and I appreciate it. And yes, they have their own plates. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, I'm not. I'm Italian, and my mom was Ukrainian. So, but her mom was born here, and her mom's mom was born here. And was that the way it works? Her mom's mom might have come from. No, I think her mom's mom was still born here. Her mom's mom, so her great grandma. It goes way back to Ukraine. But my dad's side of the family they're born in Italy. But yeah, Wendy's Irish Scottish. Good gal she is. You know what I mean? And it was nice of her to bring me a sandwich. Maybe not so nice to take $340, but oh well, that's life. It'll keep us warm. What? It'll keep us warm in the wintertime. She's thinking of warming our heinies in the wintertime. I live in Maryland, and it is Malnera's Point, US, 1.5 miles, Palms, USA. Our good friend from Maryland, from Baltimore, just moved to Olympia, Washington last June, and we meet up with him in Hawaii every year. And you can see the videos of him. His name's Justin. He's been out here to stay with us, and he wanted to be closer to Hawaii because he flies from Baltimore to Maui every year. So Justin moved from Baltimore he bought a condo in Olympia, Washington, and he's actually on my Facebook group, People Who Love Palm Trees, and he's been posting pictures of palm trees there every so often because he's got a good eye for palms now. When you know me, you're going to get a good eye for palms because I'm going to tell you there's palm trees growing where you least expect them. My Italian palm tree is from my dad's. Oh, cool palm tree, dude. So you're an Italian too. Right on. And being half Italian is good too. You know, I think I got that Italian nose, right? I got the Italian nose right there. Watching a really good series right now called Lillehammer. And it's about this mafia dude. He lives in Norway. Have you seen it? It's a Netflix series called Lillehammer. He's so badass, the guy. You got to check it out, man. I think it's kind of funny, actually. But Lillehammer, check it out. He's an Italian mafia dude living in Norway. So it's all subtitles except for him and a couple of the other American guys that are in there. I'm French, Swedish. My uncle's Swedish. My dad's youngest sister married a Swede. So my uncle's Swedish, and he's still alive. He's born in Stockholm. You have the nose too. Well, you know what? It's good to have the nose because the air is free to breathe. Thanks to him. I'm glad I could bring the computer up to the window so you can see what it's doing out here. Lots of Italian mafia in Ontario. Yeah, lots here too. We got it around here too. I think I gave you the short story on my relatives. So there were a lot. My relatives were in the news a lot back in the 70s in Vancouver with a lot of illegal dealings, which isn't good. Not so proud to say, but a lot of dealings with, I'd say, women of the night and stuff like that. And they own one of the cabarets in Vancouver, and it's been in the family for about 80 years. So that was my dad's uncle. Yeah, the Carolinas look amazing. Yeah, I'd love to go to Charleston, South Carolina. It'd be awesome. A couple of hits happen in Burlington. Yeah, I know there's lots of mafia over there, lots of New York. And yeah, I mean, I think they're wherever you go, right? Most Italian mafia in Southwest. Yeah. Wow, cool. How about Quebec? Is there any there? Montreal? Couple hits. Wow, unreal. Well, I tell you what, my dad's Uncle Joe was hit at the cabaret in Vancouver in November '83. Just like that. Yeah, he was a cool guy. I'm gonna show you something even cooler, guys. I'm gonna show you something even cooler here. So in 1979, I was at my cousin Rick's wedding. Cousin Rick at weddings at the Roma Hall. It's an Italian hall in Vancouver. Big Italian wedding, right? Italians like to have big weddings. My dad's uncle got popped. So anyway, in 1979, Uncle Joe sits down beside me, comes up to me, says, "Hey, Joey, I got something for you." Kind of like this short, stocky little mafia dude with no neck. And he says, "Hey, Joey, I got something for you. Use them when you're of age." I was 15 in 1979. You see these passes? You see those passes? Check that out, what it says on it. I've had those since 1979. That's the passes to his club right there. So maybe they're worth something now. It's pretty cool. And you can check it out. It's called the Penthouse Nightclub and Cabaret on Seymour Street in Vancouver. And it's been there a long time. It is a landmark. And like I say, Sammy Davis has been there. Frank Sinatra, you name it. All the stars visited there in the past at the Penthouse. So I got these 2 tickets from Joe back then. And he honestly looked like the mafia dude when he walked in and gave me those tickets. That was a long time ago. That was 41 years ago, and I still got those tickets today. I've never been in there. I've honestly never been in there. I'm not one to go watch peelers and stuff. So Wendy will be happy to hear that. No idea about Montreal. Yeah, I thought there was a bunch of them over there. I can make an offensive joke with air breathe. That's all right. You can say it if you want. Nothing offends me. Most Italian mafia were South Ontario. Interesting. Yeah, there's lots of them. I think they're wherever you go. It's kind of like Hell's Angels are everywhere. No idea. You're allowed to say jokes on here. I'm not one to get offended, really. I mean, you'd have to see my other YouTube channel, right? I got a lot of stuff, age-restricted videos on there. So if you want to see them, you got to be of age to actually get in there. So, and they're just mostly of Little Beach. It's a clothing optional beach. So if you want to check out my other channel, go for it. I don't have anything to hide, and I'm not one to get offended. Nothing. There's actually there's only a few things that offend me: people that abuse animals, women, and children. That's it. That's it. Nothing else offends me, man. My grandfather was a king like that. Cool. Right on. You must have heard of Joe Bonanno. Joe Bonanno's then, right? Joe Bonanno or Joe Bananas? Joe Bonanno. That's his name, but they called him Joe Bananas. He was the king, the head dude of one of the Kingpin Mafia dudes. Anyway, guys, I should roll out of here because I've really been tying up this internet for just about, I'm going to go to 2:30. I'm going to go to 2 hours and 30 minutes and maybe make this the longest live stream that I've done because it's working so well. And usually when I'm doing a live stream, you know what it's like. I'm out on the sun deck in the summer and it's fading out on me and it's a bad connection, but we don't have any B&B guests here right now. You know, there's nobody staying here with all what's going on in the world. They tell you not to travel and this and that. So it's been really dead at the accommodations. And Wendy runs 2 accommodations here. So it's quiet. So when there's nobody using the internet, I can live stream it. It is fun. I'll keep it going for another 5 minutes, Palms USA. And I like you guys in there because it's kind of like we're all together in this room, but we're social distancing because, you know, we're thousands of miles apart. We got Mr. Kerrigan in Ireland. We had somebody come in from Spain. There's people in the UK. There's people all over the US. It's great. And then we got Jane over in Hawaii in the Central Pacific. I'm here in the North Pacific. It's a really cool that somebody invented the internet and you can do this and everybody can come a lot closer together just with a touch of a button and a crappy little camera. I don't have a good PC, or I actually have 2 PCs. I got another one here, laptop too. That's with my other YouTube channel. I upload to that on that one. But this one here is just a cheap Toshiba I've had for years, and it seems to be working quite well. And I can see all the stuff you're commenting in there, and it's just great. Jim Johnson, Ontario is not a landlocked because of the yeah, and that's what they're saying too. And you know what? My bad. Okay, sorry, Ontario folks. Ontario, you know, draw a map of the states. When I was a kid, I could do it, right? I could do it, and I've done it. Let's just see. Tim, District of Columbia is not a state, is a district. Okay, cool. So it's a district, but they have their own license plates. Jack from Poland. Hey, Poland, Jason, cool. Good to see you in there. I met some really nice people from Poland a couple of years ago when we were down in Maui on the beach. Super nice people. And they helped us make sandcastles. It was really cool. So Jack from Poland, good to see you in there. Now, all of a sudden, I am in the mood for pierogies. Hey, Jacek, do you like pierogies? My mother was Ukrainian, and I used to eat a lot of pierogies. In Poland, do you guys eat pierogies? I'm curious. Who out there loves pierogies? And the best pierogies I actually ever tasted, I was at this market, a fair last year, Cranberry Festival on the mainland. And there was this, I think she was Ukrainian. She had been Ukrainian. Maybe she was Polish. And she had homemade pierogies with this sauce on them. They were to die for. Now I'm starting to get hungry. You can grow a lot. South Carolina is an amazing climate. And it's almost like a subtropical climate in South Carolina near the ocean. Prone to hurricanes every so often, but growing some pretty cool stuff. Pierogies are the best. I agree with you, Palm Tree Dude. That is, and borscht. I love borscht too. Borscht and cabbage rolls. My mom used to make good cabbage rolls. I did not realize how warm it was there. Look, temp summer 90s. They're mid 90s. Wow. That's pretty toasty. That's very toasty for this far north if you have a 90-degree temperature, a 90-degree day. So the record heat here is 38 degrees Celsius on Salt Spring Island. You guys can figure that out. It's 101 degree. I think it's 101 degree Fahrenheit, something like that. But that happened a long time ago. And in other parts of our island, it's been up there in more recent times. But I think that 101 was in the 60s, and then there was 100 not that long ago in some of the warmer parts of our island. How do you know when to cover up trachycarpus fortuna? Well, we never cover them here, Johan. So what you got to do is keep an eye on the weather. Keep an eye on the minimum temperatures. Watch your week-long weather forecast. If you're going to get some extremely cold temperatures, it's probably a good idea to go cover it up if you're going to get some bitterly cold temperatures and you think the palm can't handle it. Palmetto. Oh, yeah, palmetto. I can't wait to try my Serrano repens outside next year. Looks amazing. Yes, Savannah, Georgia looks awesome too. Very, very awesome. Okay, guys, I should back out of here. You know, it's been a long run. Oh, Benjamin's in there. We better say hi to Benjamin before I go. In North Outer Banks, would expect better looking date palms. I don't know. I've seen smaller date palms in North Carolina. I've seen Washingtonias there. I've never been there. Only pictures posted them. Lots of nice butillas and sable palmetto. And Spanish moss will actually grow in the North Pacific too. There's a guy in Seattle that grows it in his trees. The high wind does that. Yeah. I'm glad we don't get high wind. That's one thing we don't get is strong cold winds here on the Salt Spring Island. We're the most westerly of the Southern Gulf Islands. We're tucked up against Southern Vancouver Island, and we got the outer Gulf Islands to protect us. So anyway, guys, I'm going to say cheers to all of you out there. This has been like an awesome live stream. And you know what? I could do another one tomorrow. This was fun. So if you're around, just watch my channel, and you'll know when I'm doing a live stream because you're going to see me talking like this. So Sam and Benjamin and Palm Tree Dude and Tropical PDX and Palms USA and everybody else in there, Jane and Mr. Kerrigan out in Ireland, and D Gentle Gardener in Belgium, and Palm Nation in Tennessee. So I'm getting to know where all you guys are now. Palms USA Tropical PDX. I think I said that. Thanks, man. It's been awesome. You guys are great. And stay safe out there and happy palm growing. And I always like to say, plant a palm, you can't grow wrong. And you know what? I think it might even say it on my card. It's something I've always said. Plant a palm, you can't grow wrong. You see that at the top of my card there? Right along there. It says plant a palm, you can't grow wrong. So there you go. And there's the other side of the card there, Gallery 59. Little plug right there. So take care, the Toby Josh, and everybody else in there. And we will see you at the next live stream, which might be tomorrow because I'm stuck in this house till the end of the week, until I go back to work next week, right? And better to stay safe than spread a cold around. Like I say, I have a stuffy nose and I got a head cold, so I'm just going to play it safe and stay here and keep everybody else safe too. Cheers to you and aloha. End of stream. Bye for now. It is 1:58 p.m. Pacific time, and the current temperature is 7.1 degrees Celsius with blue sky and sunshine here in the Southern Gulf Islands. I like the emojis that hang loose. Take care, man. I'm going to go check out that video on the Connecticut palm tree. Aloha.